are into the stretch of the 2024 Cape League season as we start the final quarter of the regular season at Veterans Field with Chatham playing host to Falmouth. With Jack Smith, I'm Andrew Selover. Welcome back to the Cape Cod Baseball Network. After an off day yesterday, these two teams head back to the field, and Jack, Chatham has some momentum on its side, as does Falmouth, both teams coming off wins 2 days ago. And for the Anglers, it desperately snapped a 3-game losing streak on the back of a phenomenal first start from Garrett Helsel.
A's have definitely been a streaky team over the past couple of weeks, but the streak had gotten on the other side, Andrew, with the losing streak, but Garrett Helsel stopped the bleeding. He was fabulous in his first start. The lefty from Southern Illinois University Edwardsville struck out 10. He's the first Angler to strike out double digits in one outing this year.
The Anglers come into today off that win with a 6-game advantage on last place in the East with 10 games to play. So the A's are not too far away from possibly punching a ticket back to the playoffs. Meanwhile, Falmouth enters the final quarter with plenty of work to do. The Commodores come in 5 points back. That's 2.5 games away from fourth place Bourne. And Falmouth could really use a win here to start its final quarter and try and start a streak to get itself back in a playoff conversation.
Yeah, we saw Falmouth last week too, and I think the answer for this group is trying to find pitching. If this group can find the arms, they've got the bats to potentially make a run down the stretch and push for a playoff spot, but if they pitch like they did the last time we saw them, it's going to be tough.
Speaking of pitching, a couple of guys making their second appearances on Cape Cod. Mac Hewer out of Texas Tech for Falmouth, and Tyler Murphy out of FAU for Chatham. We'll have more on both of those guys when we get to the Red Nun Bar and Grill pitching matchup. But we're just getting started here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. It's the Anglers Extra pregame show, taking you the next 20 minutes all the way to first pitch at Veterans Field. It rained early in the morning. The field has dried out. The sun is hiding behind the clouds with blue skies ahead, and it's almost baseball time again here at Veterans Field. Again, first pitch in 20 minutes. Chatham and Falmouth. The Manager Show is next. Stay with us for the Anglers Extra pregame show from Veterans Field.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on GRC.
Chatham Bars Inn is Cape Cod's premier 4-diamond oceanfront resort. With 217 luxurious rooms, guests have access to numerous amenities, including a private beach, complimentary children's programs, 4 award-winning restaurants, a new world-class spa, an outdoor pool, and tennis courts. Year after year, Chatham Bars Inn is recognized as one of the top resorts in the world. Chatham Bars Inn and Cape Cod Baseball. Summer fun for the whole family.
Hello and welcome back to the Anglers Extra pregame show. I'm Jack Smith, joined by Sheets for the Manager Show. Sheets, I know there's been a day in between, but I want to take you back to Garrett Helsel's start. 10 strikeouts. Yeah. What did you see from him?
Impressive, man. Like I told you guys, to walk into this league and your first start, dominate the way he did and pitch with confidence the way that he did, and certainly demand attention from not only us but the league and certainly Brewster. That was an impressive outing, man. Just against exactly why we wanted him here. We thought he could be that kind of arm, and he showed up. Impressive.
What was he doing well to stifle Brewster?
Like we kept talking to Ike, it's like, man, everything he's throwing is moving. It's just nothing is predictable, and the fastball has good cut to it. The slider has good cut to it. The changeup had good depth. The curveball was good. I think it's just his ability to throw a lot of pitches for strikes and certainly keep him off balance. Ton of swing and misses, which with that lineup is really tough to do. I just think he was doing his part by keeping those guys off balance and missing barrels, and certainly we paid the dividends of it.
How do players from smaller schools like that find confidence in this league when you look at it, a lineup that's got so many guys from these Power 5 programs?
There's a dynamic that you cannot quantify, which is called the chip on your shoulder that is either there or it's not. And I'll be fair with you, that to me is a level of toughness. It's what we talk about with our guys. You either have grit or you don't. And sometimes you're challenged to see how much grit you have, and you either answer the bell and show up or you don't. And those are just dynamics that it's okay if you fall short in a moment. It's okay, but you got to recognize what it was. Don't blame it on something. Don't transfer the blame. Don't say it was the umpire's fault. No, son, that was you showing up soft to a battle. And that's what happens. You get exposed. And so the ability to recognize and embrace it, and you've had moments you haven't been at your toughest. I've had moments. Those are part of it. But the development process of being honest allows those guys to work through it. The one thing Garrett recognized is he did not always show up this spring with his team. And his coach and I talked about that. Him and I talked about that. But here's your moment this summer where in his other league he was dominant. Here's your big moment in this league. Show up that you can be who that is and pitch that way. There's your chip, man. You got it. So there's your moment. Feed on it, water it, let plants grow off of it. But more than that, grab the baseball and put it where you want and show everybody that you demand to be in this league. And I think when a guy grabs that and holds on to it and starts to let that thing grow, there's no telling where it can go.
When you're recruiting to Georgia Gwinnett or to here, how do you find players with that chip?
It's a little bit of conversation. You got to ask the right questions. You're trying to, basically pull out of them some things in terms of what are you looking for in your next spot? And generally, guys you want to spend time with are, Coach, I can sort through it and give you 1,000 answers, but I want to win. I want to be developed, and I want to play professional baseball. Awesome. If a kid brings up playing time, I really want to play every day. So do you want me to guarantee you playing time, or do you want to come earn playing time? Winners don't ask for anything. You don't get something for nothing in any league or any part of life. It's when they just say, I just want to be part of a winner, I want to develop, and they know they're going to come in and earn a job. You can hear things, how they respond to questions that go, this kid's DNA is a little bit different, his makeup's a little different, his mindset's in a different place. But more than that, too, you ask the people that are around him. You ask his teammates, you ask his coaches. Like I told you about Garrett, one of the conversations with his coaches was, hey, he wasn't great this spring. Yeah, but something clicked. He made a decision. He's going this way now. He was walking this path, and it wasn't working. He's now walking this one. When you can hear things like that, it tells you they've uncovered something. You just got to give them an environment where they can double down on it.
Jack Smith here with Sheets on the Manager Show ahead of Chatham and Falmouth. Sheets, you've got 10 more games left in the regular season. Yeah. What's your biggest point of emphasis to this group? Continue to play hard. Like we've talked about, our messaging has been consistent all season long. I don't plan on varying off that script too much, but I think it's making sure they just come out and continue to play hard. This is the part of the summer where rosters have shifted and changed. It's the conversation we had before Brewster, a lot of guys are going to wake up on most days, especially after 5 days in a row, and their back's going to be tight and their legs are going to be sore. And the best part of that, Jack, is the game doesn't care one bit. Doesn't care. It's going to reward a winner. It's going to reward winners and losers throughout that game. And you got to show up. And I think part of that is learning how to play professional baseball, which is you got to get your body to a place every day you can go compete. So I think for that, it's definitely doubling down with these guys and making sure that they dominate that process, that recovery process, but that day process. Here's an opportunity with no BP. So here you have extra hours in your schedule. How are you using it to stretch and play catch and work the cage and be prepared? Because at first pitch, the game doesn't care. It's letting them double down on that routine. And so I think more than that, be consistent. Let's make sure we finish this the way that we want to. We have literally our destiny in the palm of our hand, and we just got to show up every day and dominate. Game 31 as Chatham embarks on a 10-game stretch to finish out the regular season. Sheets, thanks for the time.
Appreciate you, Jack.
That'll do it for us here on the Manager Show. Let's send it back to Andrew Selover as the Anglers Extra pregame show continues.
All right, Jake, you heard a little bit there from Sheets about the extenuating circumstances that led to no batting practice on the field today. Rain overnight into the morning, so the field had to be let dry, and the teams have taken batting practice in the cages. No infield, outfield ahead of the game either today. So pretty much show up, hang out, and play baseball. And we're going to do that in about 15 minutes' time when we return to the Anglers Extra pregame show. We'll talk with Chatham Krause on Catch of the Day. He comes into today's game with a 4-game hit streak out of Dallas Baptist, and will bat cleanup again today for the Anglers. Plenty more to come ahead of first pitch, but Catch of the Day is next here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Anglers Extra. Chatham on TRC. Cape Cod.
Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, located right around the corner from Veterans Field at 790 Main Street in Chatham. Pick up a pie on your way to the game or grab a calzone before first pitch. The dough for their specialty pizza is rolled right before your eyes. Eat in or take out, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and sometimes later. Call 508-348-0200. See their full menu online at sweettomatoescapecod.com. Sweet Tomatoes, a Chatham pregame tradition.
Welcome back to the Anglers Extra pregame show. I'm Andrew Selover. I've got Chatham Krause with me for Catch of the Day. Chatham, you come into today's game against Falmouth on a 4-game hit streak. What has worked so well for you over the last few games?
I would say it's just my pregame rhythm, just a repetition before a game of getting back to what I'm used to doing before games, whether it's my mobility and then getting the right mindset for a game definitely helps that.
What's your pregame routine look like?
It's a lot of mobility, and then it's a lot of just visualization. Just visualize seeing pitches in the zone, out of the zone, takes, and then just seeing either positive or negative outcomes and just how to work with them.
Are there certain drills that you can use to work on that eye at the plate?
Yeah, I would say one is I normally close my eyes, just kind of breathe, and just visualize seeing pitches in the zone, out of the zone, swing decisions, and all that stuff.
For you, do you have a specific pregame meal that's your go-to ahead of games?
I'm actually not much of an eater before a game. I prefer not to eat within 5 or 6 hours of a game, so yeah.
When did you start developing that?
I mean, that was probably high school. In college, we get pregame meals. They're probably 3 hours, 4 hours for a game, and I eat those, but sometimes just pushing it, getting a little close.
For you on the field, you grew up playing baseball in Pennsylvania after you moved there from New Zealand. You played all through the Little League ranks, made it to the Little League World Series. What over the course of your Little League career inspired you to continue to play all the way to the collegiate level?
I mean, I would just say it's seeing older guys just trying to follow in their footsteps. You see, guys that have played in the Little League World Series when you're 8 and 9, and you want to play in that, and then you play in it, and then you just see guys in high school playing state tournaments, and then it just goes up of seeing guys playing in bigger events that you're trying to get to, and then just kind of builds up on each other.
What do you remember most about your Little League World Series experience?
Definitely my walk-off. I had a walk-off single against Texas in the U.S. Championship. We ended up winning that game, so that's definitely up there.
When did you think that you were going to make that next step from Little League all the way to college?
I'd say going into high school is when I really decided that college is what I want to do. I want to play baseball in college, and then going into high school, it kind of turned to this is where I want to be.
How did that change your approach and how seriously you took the game during high school?
I wouldn't say it changed it as such. I always had the desire to play baseball and want to be good at it and get better, but it definitely gave me that edge to get to the next level and get to a next level that's the top of the next level. So,
when did you find out you were coming to play here on Cape Cod?
It's probably 4 weeks ago, but I didn't officially say I was coming until, was it last Monday? I didn't find out, and then Tuesday I traveled.
Pretty quick turnaround, wasn't it?
It was a quick turnaround, it was.
What's it like to turn that body around and get right back into the groove of baseball because you came in and played the same day that you flew into Boston?
That's definitely a challenge. I was traveling. I woke up at 4 in the morning, and then, traveling all day, you don't have much to prep your body with stretching and staying active throughout the day. So it's definitely interesting to try to play a game and get your body in the right shape for it.
What's been your favorite memory so far about a week and a half into your time here in Cape Cod?
I would say just hanging out with the guys, like the bus. It's not your typical fancy bus with the bathroom and all the fancy seats. It's a school bus, so you have 40 guys jammed in a bus, and, you get to know guys pretty well just from sitting a few inches away from them. So I'd say getting to know the guys, it's definitely up there with one of the cooler experiences so far.
Well, Chayton, we appreciate the time. Enjoy your last couple of weeks here on Cape Cod.
Thank you.
We'll send it back to Jack for the rest of the Anglers Extra pregame show.
Well, Andrew, Chayton Krause seems to be the answer for Sheets so far since his arrival in the cleanup spot. And he's lost a couple of big bats come draft time with Austin O'Verne and John Bay, but Chayton Krause is filling in nicely. Only A with a multi-home run game this year, and he has filled in that spot on a 4-game hit streak. He's back in there today at third base, hitting cleanup against Mac Hewer. We'll have the rest of the starting lineups as well as the pitching matchup, the national anthem, and first pitch when we come back from Veterans Field. Stick with us here on the Anglers Extra pregame show. Chatham versus Falmouth next.
Anglers Extra. Chatham on TRC. Cape Cod.
Year after year, Cape Cod League Baseball and Chatham Bars Inn have been synonymous with summer on Cape Cod. The Inn has offered clam bakes, beachside barbecues, and oceanfront dining since 1914. The new Beach House restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Visit Chatham Bars Inn at www.chathambarsin.com. Chatham Bars Inn and Cape Cod Baseball. Summer fun for the whole family.
Chatham A's baseball is on the air right now.
Swings and hits one to left center field. Back goes McFadden. He will not get there. It's a home run. A grand slam for Todd Frazier.
Chugging into second base with an RBI double is Evan Longoria. He is 4 for 4.
Hit on the ground, left side. Will it get through? Off Crawford and into center field. Federovic scores and Chatham wins it in 11. The game-winning hit from Seager. It's a 5-4 Chatham winner.
And now, with your play-by-play, Andrew Selover and Jack Smith.
From Veterans Field, we welcome you back to the Cape Cod Baseball Network ahead of Game 31. It's Chatham and Falmouth for the final time in the 2024 regular season. We've got the lineups and first pitch coming your way in just a few minutes. But for now, we send it over to our public address announcer, Peter Burns, who has tonight's national anthem.
Please rise for tonight's national anthem. Returning to sing the national anthem at Veterans Field tonight is Linda Apria. Linda is a nurse at Broadreach Hospice and is an avid baseball fan, and she loves America. With tonight's national anthem, Linda Apria.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The national anthem, courtesy of Linda Apria here at Veterans Field. Chatham and Falmouth on tap here for the final time in the regular season. Anglers come into this one at 16, 14, and 0. Good for second place in the East Division. And the Falmouth Commodores at 11, 18, and 1. 2.5 games out of fourth place in the West. Let's get you the starting lineups for this one, presented by the Chatham Clothing Bar. First for the visiting Falmouth Commodores under Jeff Trundy at 11, 18, and 1. Here is the Commodores starting lineup. Leading off and playing second base out of Oklahoma, Jackson Willits. Batting second from Nebraska, the third baseman Dylan Carey. In the three-hole out of Arkansas, transferring to Oklahoma State, Jason Jones plays right field and he bats third. In the cleanup spot and designated hitting tonight for the Commodores, out of Oregon State, Gavin Turley. Gavin Keelan is in the 5 spot, sophomore out of Louisville, transferring to Tennessee and playing shortstop. Batting sixth, the catcher from TCU, Carson Bowen. In the 7 spot, in his Cape League debut for Falmouth, out of Barton County Community College, transferring to Nebraska, the center fielder, Robbie Bolin. In the 8th spot, the left fielder from Oklahoma State, Donovan LaSalle. And rounding out the starting 9 for Falmouth, from Stetson, the first baseman, Isaiah Barquette. Again for Falmouth, 1 through 9, it's Willits, Carey, Jones, Turley, Keelan, Bowen, Bolin, LaSalle, and Barquette.
For the sheet, or for the Anglers, penned by Sheets, first-year manager, 16 and 14. The A's.
Go ahead and change the name, Jack. The Sheets.
Well, they are 16 and 14 through the first 30 games. I think you got to see a playoff berth before you change the name of the team. Will Bermudez, the switch-hitting center fielder from UC Irvine, leads things off. Second straight game for Will starting in center after he's a regular second baseman at UCI. Ashton Larson and Ike Irish back-to-back. They're both all-stars. guards and lefties. Larson plays right field today from LSU, and Ike Irish DHs from Auburn. Chayton Krause starts a stretch of 5 straight right-handed hitters. He plays third today from Dallas Baptist, followed by the shortstop Iva Arquette, starter for the East in the All-Star game, currently in the transfer portal. Eddie Hakopian is back in the starting lineup after he was pulled with what looked like it could have been an injury in the A's last game. He's good enough to start today, plays first base from Maryland. Then is Jaden Davis, the second baseman from Vanderbilt, followed by Luke Uhas, a new right fielder, or rather a new outfielder playing left today from Louisiana, added to the roster today. Rounding out the 1 through 9 is Campbell Smithwick, the left-handed hitting catcher from Ole Miss. From 1 through 9 for the Anglers is Bermudez, Larson, and Irish, Krause, Arquette, Hakopian, Davis, Uhas, and Smithwick. For Sheets, that's 5 righties, 3 lefties, and 1 switch hitter.
So those are the lineups for the Sheets, and they're facing off against the Commodores, Jack. The pitching matchup presented by the Red Num Bar and Grill, whichever you want. Tyler Murphy on the mound, the sophomore from FAU, the righty for Chatham. Mac Hewer, the righty from Texas Tech, and freshman for the Commodores. We'll get you more on Hewer in the bottom of the first. Second start of the season, rather second appearance of the season for Murphy. First start, the righty out of FAU faces the switch hitter Jackson Willits to lead things off, who swings it now from the left side, freshman from Oklahoma. We're ready for baseball. Murphy comes home. His first pitch is a strike. It's 0-1, a fastball at the knees at 92 miles per hour. First pitch at 7:02. It is 69 degrees and cloudy here at Veterans Field. 0-1. Fastball tipped in and out of the mitt of Smithwick, the catcher, 0-2. First pitch time and temperature brought to you by the Chatham Athletic Association. Your home plate umpire tonight is Mickey Garcia. Matt Newman's over at first, and at third base, Anthony Brunetti. Umps brought to you by Chatham Paint and Hardware. Willits behind in the count, 0-2 to Murphy. Here it is. Taken up and away, ball 1. Willits leads this team in on-base percentage. He's walked 16 times, and he reaches base over 40% of the time to the plate. Playing in his 22nd game, he stares out to the righty, Murphy, who went 5 1/3 his first time. He deals. It's a slider low and away, 2-2. First appearance of the summer for Murphy out of Florida Atlantic. 6 days ago against Bourne. Chatham won that game 8-4, and Murphy was a big reason why. 5 1/3 of 1-run ball. 2-2. Strike, 3 call. Smithwick throws it around the horn. First out of the ball game is a strikeout looking of Jackson Willits. 1 up, 1 down for Tyler Murphy in the top of the first. Defensive alignment for the Anglers presented by Short and Sweet Ice Cream. Left to right in the outfield, Luke Uhas, Will Bermudez, and Ashton Larson. First pitch swinging, it's fouled off down the left field line by Dylan Carey. Uhas out in left makes his Anglers debut. Third to first on the infield, Chayton Krause and Iva Arquette on the left side. Jaden Davis and Eddie Hakopian on the right side. Battery mate Campbell Smithwick for the starter Murphy. He deals, it's fouled off. 0-2. Jack Murphy out in front of each of the first 2 batters he faces. Freshman from Nebraska, Dylan Carey, is strikeout prone. 26 Ks in 27 games so far for the righty. 0-2. Swing and a miss. 3-pitch K, and it's back-to-back strikeouts for Tyler Murphy to start his first start on Cape Cod.
And that's the recipe that we saw Murphy go with his first time. A lot of strikes, picked up 7 strikeouts in 5 1/3, and he was around the plate with just 2 walks allowed, which is exactly what the A's are looking for down the stretch from some of these new starters.
Now he faces the Falmouth batting average leader, Jason Jones. Comes into this game hitting at .324. The pitch. Whistled on a line straight at second base, and Davis has it. Jaden Davis jumps just behind the second base bag. He steals one away from center field, and it's 3 up, 3 down in the top of the first for Tyler Murphy. Strikeout looking of Jackson Willits. A strikeout swinging of Dylan Carey. And a line out to second base from Jason Jones. It's a 9-pitch inning in the first start of the summer and second appearance for the sophomore from Florida Atlantic, Tyler Murphy. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on in the top of the first for Falmouth. It's Commodores 0 and Chatham coming to the plate to face Mac Hewer when we return. Bottom of the first next.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC.
Falmouth 0 and Chatham 0 as the Anglers come to the plate in the bottom of the first. It's Will Bermudez, Ashton Larson, and Ike Irish due up for the Anglers in the bottom of the first. Commodores went in order in the top half. Mac Hewer on the mound, the righty out of Texas Tech. The freshman gets the ball for the second time this summer for Falmouth. He faces the switch hitter, Will Bermudez. From the left side, the first pitch is high for ball one. First outing of the summer on Cape Cod for Hewer. 2 innings pitched. He gave up 1 hit. He faced just 7 batters in a start and did not give up a run 6 days ago against Hyannis. 1-0. At the top of the zone, outside corner 1-1. Fastball lively to start the game for Hewer. Second pitch comes in at 95. He kicks and deals and misses outside at 97. 2 balls, 1 strike. Just the 5th game of the summer for Will Bermudez in Chatham. Sophomore out of UC Irvine, hitting at .231. Here's the 2-1. Hit on 1 hop to second base. Gobbled up by Willits. He throws to first in time to beat out the leadoff man for Chatham. Bermudez just about got all of that one, but he hit it right at Jackson Willits. Rest of the defensive alignment for Falmouth brought to you by Short and Sweet Ice Cream. Left to right in the outfield, it's Donovan LaSalle, Robbie Bolin, and Jason Jones. Third to first, Dylan Carey and Gavin Keelan. Jackson Willits at second and Isaiah Barquette at first. Carson Bowen is the catcher for the starting pitcher, Mac Hewer. His first pitch to Ashton Larson. Skips in. Larson was the catalyst to an offensive explosion down the stretch against Brewster. 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. In what was a 7-3 victory at the end of the day 2 days ago to snap a 3-game losing streak at the Whitecaps, Larson drove in 4 of Chatham's 7 runs. 1-1. Up and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. 3 for 5 day for Larson. A double, 2 singles. He didn't score, but he brought home 4 teammates to score. The pitch. Taken outside, ball 3. We've officially made it to All-Star Week in the Cape Cod League. Larson will be representing Chatham on Saturday in Falmouth. Here's the 3-1. Check swing at a high fastball. Larson laid off. He's aboard. First base runner of the game belongs to Chatham. A one-out walk in the bottom of the first.
The designated hitter from Auburn, number 4, Ike Irish.
Brings up Ike Irish, the DH today for Chatham. And Jack, it was early that Chatham got the first runs of the game last time out against Brewster. They exploded 5 runs across the first 2 innings.
And Irish had an at-bat there that drove in a run. It was a selfless one, just putting the ball in play with a couple of strikes on it.
Lefty swinger awaits and takes a first pitch strike on the inside corner.
I think that's what makes this 2-3 stretch for the A's so valuable between Larson and Irish is they both have good bat-to-ball skills and are willing to give up an at-bat to serve the better purpose.
A pair of all-stars in that 2 and 3 spot in the lineup for Chatham today. 0-1. Low. 1-1. Batting average for Ike is at .298. He's on base at a .407 clip across 29 games. 1-1. Taken outside. Snap back throw to first. And Larson's just back safely to the back of the bag. Isaiah Barquette turned around and slapped the tag on, but wisely Larson went for that back corner down the right field line and got in safely. He's held on. Big hole through the pull side for Irish, the lefty. 2-1 from Hewer. Taken on the outside corner, strike 2. Irish, the sophomore from Auburn, awaits the righty from Texas Tech. Hewer comes home and misses outside. Full count. First 3-2 count of the ball game. Mac Hewer from the stretch. He sets. He kicks, he deals, and he misses outside, ball 4. Back-to-back walks to back-to-back lefties. Larson at second, Irish now at first, and now comes the stretch of righties in the lineup for Mac Hewer. A's have got 3 lefties in the lineup and a switch hitter, and then 4 through 8 is 5 righties in a row. Before Chayton Krause, the cleanup hitter, comes to the plate, a quick conversation between Carson Bowen, the catcher, and his starting pitcher, Mac Hewer. Hewer was primarily a starter this season with Texas Tech. 10 of his 12 appearances came in the starting role. Pitched to a 5.94 ERA with the Red Raiders. He's ready for Chayton Krause, and he deals. First pitch swinging, it's lofted into right center field. Drifting back Jones, he's shy of the track. He grabs it. Larson tags from second. He chugs into third standing. And Krause moves a runner over, but he is retired on a fly out to right.
The shortstop from the University of Washington, number 13, Iva Arquette.
It's Iva Arquette's responsibility to try and now drive home Ashton Larson. He's at third. Ike Irish is at first. Arquette, the third field player that is an all-star for Chatham. 2 pitchers will join these 3. 2 on, 2 away, bottom of the first, and no score. First pitch taken on the inside corner, strike 1. Jack, as that pitch was thrown from Hewer, Irish started to second, but he held up.
Might have been just a distraction tactic for either the pitcher or his catcher, Carson Bowen.
He's held on by Barquette, the pitch. Taken inside, 1-1.
But I wouldn't put it past Ike Irish to try and move here. He really likes to impact the game with his legs, and as we've documented throughout the season, there are positives and there are negatives to that.
In the stolen base category, he's perfect, 6 for 6. He watches Hewer. The righty pitcher comes home. Irish stutters and stays put, and Arquette bounces it foul. That time he was really going and then decided he didn't get the jump he liked and put the brakes on a third of the way there. Arquette's down to his final strike. He chopped an inside slider off to the first base dugout. Hewer trying to put up a 0. The righties 1-2. Foul back. That commences the battle chance from the third base dugout. Trying to urge on Iva Arquette, who bats at a .304 average through 26 games. Another guy that's been here like Ike Irish since day one for Chatham. Another 1-2. Irish on the move, and Arquette spoils it foul. Well, Ike finally got a jump that he liked, but he's sent back to first base anyway. Chatham trying to strike first in the bottom of the first. A's have got runners at the corners and 2 away. Scoreless between Falmouth and Chatham. Another 1-2 to Arquette. Swing and a miss. He fishes for a low breaking ball. It's a first strikeout for Mac Hewer, and he escapes the bottom of the first unscathed. No runs on no hits, no errors in the field, and 2 men left on base. Hewer works around 2 walks in the bottom of the first. We're scoreless through 1 at Veterans Field. Just getting started. Chatham and Falmouth on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod. What I want, you got, and it might be hard to handle, but like a flame that burns a candle, the candle feeds the flame. Yeah, yeah, what I got, full stock of thoughts and dreams to scatter, and you pull them all together, and I can't explain. Oh yeah, well, you make my dreams come true.
Hi, this is Iva Arquette from Washington. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball with Andrew Selover and Jack Smith on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Go Dogs.
Back for the top of the second inning here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham and Falmouth scoreless. It's the 4, 5, and 6 spot in the lineup due up for the Commodores against Tyler Murphy after he set down 1, 2, and 3 in order in the first. Righty, lefty, righty. Gavin Turley, Gavin Keelan, and Carson Bowen due up for the Commodores against the righty starter Tyler Murphy. Infield is back. Outfield straight away for Gavin Turley. The first pitch skips in. Ball 1. Turley, the sophomore from Oregon State, designated hitter today for the Commodores. Tied for the team lead in home runs with 3. 1-0. Bounced back to the backstop. 1-1. The other 2 players that Turley is tied with, that being Zion Rose and Trent Caraway, neither of those 2 are in the starting lineup today for Jeff Trundy and Falmouth. Trundy, the longtime manager, sits just a step outside of the first base dugout. John Schiffner to his side. 1-1. Lifted into shallow right field. Larson charges on. He makes the catch on the run into the gap. Turley set down for the first out in the second inning. John Schiffner managed here at Veterans Field for Chatham for 25 years before retiring back in 2017, but he's come back this year as an assistant for the Commodores. Watching on from a bucket outside of the first base dugout. First pitch swinging. Fouled back to the backstop by Gavin Keelan. Back-to-back Gavins in the lineup for Falmouth. Keelan, the sophomore out of Louisville, transferring to Tennessee next season. 0-1. Taken at the top of the zone, strike 2. Right across the numbers on the black jerseys. Gray pants and black caps today for the Commodores. A's go with their pinstripes and the blue hats. Murphy's 0-2. Just missed the outside corner. Tried to bend the slider into the lefty Keelan. Already 2 strikeouts and a 4-up, 4-down start for Tyler Murphy. 1-2. Tipped out of the mitt of Smithwick. Couldn't quite hang on to finish a 3rd strikeout. Keelan comes into today's game. This is his 20th appearance for the Commodores, sitting at .237. 1 double, 2 home runs. Another 1-2. Taken high. Fastball all the way up to 94 for Murphy. 2-2. Murphy just from the stretch kicks and fires. And he missed again. Slider up at the letters. 3-2. Tyler Murphy trying to keep his perfect start going. Locked in a full count with Keelan. The pitch. Low for ball 4. First base runner for Falmouth comes on a walk in the second with 1 out.
The catcher from TCU, number 14, Carson Bowen.
No offense yet between either side. Scoreless with 1 down in the top of 2. Keelan aboard at first for Carson Bowen, the sophomore catcher from TCU. Bowen, a righty hitter, against the righty Murphy, who works with the base runner for the first time today. Pitch. Up and away, ball 1. Eddie Hakopian, Chatham's first baseman, will hold on the base runner Gavin Keelan. Second baseman Jaden Davis shaded slightly toward the bag. (1-0). High for ball 2. All of a sudden, Jack, after 4 up, 4 down, and a 1-2 count to Gavin Keelan, 5 straight balls out of the hand of Tyler Murphy. Righty comes set. He picks to first. Close play. They did not get him. Keelan froze on the pickoff move and just got back below the tag from Hakopian.
And even there, a pickoff move could be something to reset the sights of Murphy. Likely called from the dugout.
Now is 2-0. Popped up on the right side. It drifts into shallow right field. Larson comes in. He calls off Davis and he makes the play. Only about a foot of separation between those two. But Ashton Larson makes the long run in toward the infield to make the out. And up until the last second, Davis was hunting that one down, and he finally heard the loud voice of Ashton Larson.
Collision avoided.
Sigh of relief, I'm sure, from those two. They reset their positions for the lefty Robbie Bolin. First AB of the summer and another pickoff ahead of it. No tag applied. Bolin, the freshman out of Barton County Community College, transferring to Nebraska next season. First pitch. Bolin bounces it up the middle. Arquette at short. Flips to second. Davis is there. It's out number 3. Tyler Murphy works around a 1-out walk. He strands Gavin Keelan on the bases. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base for Falmouth in the top of 2. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Anglers, trying to put the first run on the board. We're scoreless halfway through 2 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Bottom of the second inning at Veterans Field, scoreless between Chatham and Falmouth. And a good sight for Chatham fans to see Eddie Hakopian step into the right-hand batter's box to lead things off. First pitch from Hewer is in tight for ball one. Hakopian, a redshirt junior out of Maryland, joined Chatham just ahead of its latest game at Brewster 2 days ago. He was 1 for 2 in that ball game. 1-0. Low and inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Second AB for Hakopian was a ground out to the right side. A bang-bang play, and as he tried to beat out an infield single, he slightly beat himself up on the way to the bag. 2-0. In tight, ball 3. So Sheets, the manager for the Anglers, took Hakopian out of the game with a defensive replacement in the next half inning, but he's back in the starting lineup today. No harm done. Ahead in the count, 3-0. Here's the pitch. Taking a strike right down the middle. This season with Maryland, Hakopian was a first-team All-Big Ten selection because he hit it .377 with the Terps. 3-1. Laced down the right field line, tailing away from the right fielder Jones. It's down a base hit. Hakopian reads a bobble in right field. He jogs into second base, and he's in there standing with a leadoff double. Little bit of a hobble around first base, Jack, from Hakopian, but as he saw the bobble down the right field line from Jason Jones, he decided to make his way to second base, and he beat the throw in.
Yes, I am doing pregame training with Chatham's trainer, Julia Holland. He was jumping around, doing broad jumps, side-to-side moves like an ice skater would. He didn't look fully confident and comfortable on the leg. It wasn't 100% it looked, but his swing seems fine.
Well, the swing has worked for his first 3 ABs, in which he has 2 hits and now an extra base hit. Quick conversation with the third base coach, Ramon Orozco, as he gave him his gear, but he'll stay in the ball game. Brings up Jaden Davis. The first pitch is at the knees, strike 1. Hakopian didn't look 100%, a little bit gimpy on the way to second base, but he keeps himself out there at second. Hewer looks back. He comes home. Davis takes another strike at the knees on a breaking ball. Sophomore out of Vanderbilt. 0 for 4 the last time out against Brewster, hitting at .235. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Davis late on 95. It's the second strikeout of the game for Mac Hewer. First out of the second inning to bring up the latest addition to the Chatham roster, Luke Uhas. Uhas, a sophomore out of Louisiana, added on the off day yesterday. Righty swinger at 6'4", 225. Sophomore awaits the freshman Hewer's pitch and takes it in the dirt, ball 1. This season with Louisiana, a .318 batting average. Uhas slugged it up near 600. 7 home runs, 5 doubles, and a triple. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Snap back through to second. Hakopian back safely. Eddie was off the base a little bit, but it better be a good throw down to second base if you can catch somebody off. That's a long way to gun it back there from Carson Bowen. Hewer and Juhas even in the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. Taken. Fastball at 96 on the outer half. 1-2.
The Commodores probably saw the way that Hakopian was running from first to second and thought they might have a chance to get him off of the base. It's almost like when a batter is hit, some pitchers like to pick off right after that.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts from Mac Hewer. And he is using that fastball up in the mid to high 90s to mow down the Anglers. Another four-seamer, this time at 96 to set down Juhas in his first appearance of the summer. Brings up the 9-hole hitter, Campbell Smithwick. If you exclude Eddie Hakopian, who is 2 for 3, Smithwick is the team leader in batting average. Lefty catcher from Ole Miss. Freshman on freshman, the pitch. Up and away, ball 1. Smithwick comes into today hitting at .326 for Chatham. Gray clouds floating overhead, covering us from the bright blue skies at Veterans Field. 1-0. Off the outside corner, 2 balls, no strikes. With the rain gone, the fans have shown up in a big way. Crowded behind home plate tonight, and the hill is packed as well. Another good night for baseball at Veterans Field. Temperature just below 70, and the fans have responded. 2-0. High for ball 3. Back-to-back innings where Chatham has a runner in scoring position. Still no score in the bottom of the second inning between Chatham and Falmouth. Runner at second and 2 down. Here's the 3-0 to Smithwick. High for ball 4. Already the 3rd walk in 2 innings from Mac Hewer, and that flips the lineup for Chatham. First time through, just 1 hit but 3 walks and 3 strikeouts for Hewer. He faces Will Bermudez with 2 on and 2 away. Jack, the stuff is certainly there when it's in the zone. Power fastball from Hewer, but command's the problem thus far. See what his first pitch to Will Bermudez is. Here it comes. It's a fastball outside for ball 1.
Hewer didn't go all that far in his first start, Andrew. 1 hit, 1 strikeout, but only went 2 innings, and we've been told he's on a 10-inning limit for the summer. So now that we're through the second time through the order, start to maybe wonder how far he'll be allowed to go.
Righty freshman that threw 47 innings this year with Texas Tech. His 1-0. Hit high in the air, foul down the left field line. LaSalle gives chase, but it's out of play over the Chatham bullpen. Evens the count at 1-1 on Bermudez. And as we speak about the pitch count, a righty is warming up in the bullpen now for Falmouth. First time out, Hewer tossed a scoreless 2 innings against Hyannis. He's trying to replicate that with 1 more out here. Trying to leave 2 more on for Chatham. Hewer from the stretch, he pitches. He skips it in, it bounces away from Bowen, and both Chatham runners advance without a throw. Wild pitch puts 2 A's in scoring position for Bermudez, now in a 2-1 count.
The right-hander is Jack Seppings getting loose. He's made 4 appearances so far for Falmouth, 3 of them start, so could go lengthy in relief.
And he is not a Veterans Field first-timer. He pitched with Chatham a season ago. 2-1. Taken low, ball 3. Bermudez up 3 balls, 1 strike. He's got runners at second and third with 2 outs in the second inning. trying to drive home the first runs of the ballgame. Right on left, Hewer set, he deals. Fastball roped on the ground to first, high hop, and it's past Barquette into right. Wave around third for Smithwick. The throw to the plate is late. It's a 2-run base hit off the bat of Will Bermudez, and Chatham has the lead 2-0 in the bottom of the second inning. A wicked hot over to Barquette, and he just couldn't handle it on the backhand out near the edge of the outfield grass. And that brings a mound visit for Mac Hewer. I should correct myself. They've ruled it an error here at Veterans Field. So it goes down as an E3 on Isaiah Barquette, and it ends the day for Mac Hewer. Hewer lasts just 2 outs into the second inning. A Chatham bar's in, called to the bullpen for the Commodores early on at Veterans Field. It's Jack Seppings into the game for Falmouth. We'll tell you more about him when we return here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Oh woman, don't treat me so mean. You're the meanest old woman that I've ever seen. I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Now, baby, listen, baby, don't you treat me this away, 'cause I'll be back on my feet someday.
Don't care if you do, 'cause it's understood. You ain't got no money, you just ain't no good.
Well, I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Well,
Don't you come back no more.
what you said?
Don't you come back no more.
I didn't understand
Don't
you.
you come back no more.
You can't mean that.
Don't you come back.
Oh, now, baby, please.
Don't you come back.
What you trying to do to me?
Welcome back to the bottom of the second on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. I'm Andrew Selover alongside Jack Smith, and it's Jack Seppings into the game for Falmouth. 2023 Chatham Angler, 2024 Falmouth Commodore. And Seppings comes into the game in his 5th appearance, just the second one out of the bullpen for the Commodores. The numbers on Seppings, a 3.00 earned run average across 12 innings pitched. He struck out 14 and walked 6. Righty out of Brown faces the lefty from LSU, Ashton Larson. First pitch, fouled back over our heads in the press box, 0-1. Another scoring update for you. We've changed it back to a Will Bermudez hit, so he gets his RBIs. It's a 2-run single for Will Bermudez, and it's still 2-0 in the score column with 2 outs in the second. Pickoff throw to check on Bermudez. He's back safely. So the day ends for Mac Hewer after 1 2/3 for the righty out of Texas Tech. He's given up 2. He's responsible for 1 more. 0-1. Breaking ball catches a piece of the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. Larson walked his first time to the plate and only time against Hewer. Now he's the first to face Jack Seppings, who's trying to keep it at a 2-run inning for Chatham in the second inning. 0-2. Rise is high. It brings Bowen out of his crouch. 1-2. First appearance for Seppings in 18 days. 1-2. Popped up foul, again over our heads. Seppings used to the starter role this season. He was the #1 weekend starter for Brown. Although last year he came in all 18 appearances out of the bullpen for the Bears, so he can do them both. And he's out of the pen today for Falmouth. Another 1-2. Fastball inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jack, another game where the A's strike first. It feels like that's been a theme over the last week or so.
Hasn't always been with 2 outs, though, which is what it has been the last couple of days.
2-2 to Larson. Bermudez on the move. Larson swings and misses. Low and inside breaking ball. First strikeout out of the pen for Jack Seppings ends the bottom of the 2nd inning, but not before a 2-out, 2-run base knock from Will Bermudez. Anglers go for 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors in the field from Falmouth, and 1 man left on base. Through 2 at Veterans Field, Chatham 2, Falmouth nothing on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
In the dark, it's raining in the park, but meantime, sound of the river, you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie, double fall time. You feel alright when you hear the music ring. Well, now you step inside.
Tyler Murphy's pitching with a lead for the first time today. Righty out of Florida Atlantic trots back out to the mound to start the top of the 3rd. And the scoreboard reads Chatham 2 and Falmouth 0. 8-9-1 for the Commodores. Donovan LaSalle leads things off from the right side against the righty Murphy. First offering. Breaking ball bounced on 1 hop to 3rd. Kraus has it. He throws a strike to first. 1 pitch, 1 out. Jayton Kraus was in even with the bag, and that 1 high hop met him right at his glove across the chest. Can't play it any better, can't position it any better. LaSalle is down, Barquette is up to the plate, and roll call is commencing down the left field line for the Chatham bullpen. Isaiah Barquette, sophomore from Stetson, in the 9-hole. First pitch, right on right. It's a strike, a fastball over the heart at 92. Barquette hitting .236 across 21 games this summer. 0-1. Swing and a miss. He went down to a knee, and a breaking ball that just crept over the plate. About 2 inches off the ground, but it fished a strike. 0-2. Murphy deals. Hit on the ground through the right side, a base hit. Past the first baseman Hakopian down the line. Barquette puts on the brakes as Larson is to it quickly on the chop. 1 out single for the 9-hole hitter for Falmouth. First base hit of the ball game against Tyler Murphy.
Second baseman, number 18, Jackson Willis.
Roll call has made its way to the infield. And it is finished. We've got a helmet swap between the man on deck, Dylan Carey, and the man on first base, Isaiah Barquette. I don't think I've ever seen that in my life, but the two of them just swapped helmets. And that's a runner on the move. First pitch ball, and the throw down is not in time. So maybe it's the new helmet that helps Isaiah Barquette steal second base on the first pitch to Jackson Willits.
Yeah, they gave him the one with better wind resistance.
Something like that.
Adds +5 speed. It's like a video game attribute. And you get the extra special tool.
I guess.
A diamond card as opposed to a gold.
Not a big video guy myself, but makes sense.
I've seen you play.
A plus speed now for Barquette with the new helmet. 1-0 to Willits. The pitch. Slider low and inside. 2 balls, no strikes. 4th stolen base of the summer for the man on base, Isaiah Barquette. He's a perfect 4 for 4. First man in scoring position of the evening for Falmouth. 2-0. Breaking ball catches a piece of the inside corner, 2-1. Willits struck out looking his first time to the plate. Base hit could score the first run of the game for Falmouth. Commodores trail it 2-0 to Chatham in the top of 3. Murphy's 2-1. Low and inside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Murphy delivers. And it's lined on one hop to Arquette. It bounces off his body to second base. Davis goes to retrieve it, and he has no throw to the plate with Barquette storming all the way around to score. A missile that bounced right off the body of Iva Arquette into shallow right field. It's a base hit for the leadoff man, Jackson Willits. And in the end, it brings around the first run of the game for Falmouth. So Willits over at first base. Barquette is home, and it's 2-1 Chatham in the 3rd inning. First pitch to Dylan Carey is hit on the ground to 3rd. Gloved there by Kraus. He goes to 2nd for 1, and the throw to 1st is not in time. Kraus on the backhand took away extra bases from Dylan Carey, and he steals an out at second base. The throw beat Willits by a half step for the 2nd out. Brings up Jason Jones in the 3-hole. Tyler Murphy trying to limit it to just a 1-run inning for Falmouth. A's still up 2-1 in the 3rd. First pitch, fouled back to the backstop. Runner at first and 2 down, and an 0-1 count to Jason Jones, who lined out to second base his first time to the plate. Sophomore that wears the Arkansas helmet. Pickoff throw to first is not in time. And Jones wears that red helmet despite the fact that he's transferring out of Arkansas and he's headed to Oklahoma State next season.
Hasn't been hooked up with the orange yet.
0-1. Belted deep to left field. Juhas drifts back. He's at the track. He looks up. He's out of room. Nearly hit the scoreboard. Jason Jones, a 2-run blast, and it gives Falmouth their first lead of the game, 3-2 in the top of the 3rd. Third home run of the summer for Jason Jones. He's greeted by his teammates. Runs through the tunnel into the first base dugout. First time today that Falmouth has the lead on a long blast from Jason Jones to left field. Nobody on and 2 away, brings up Gavin Turlin. First pitch, fouled back. Jones now tied with Turley for the team lead with 3 home runs on the summer.
And it looked like Luke Uhas, who's playing his first game here at Veterans Field, maybe didn't get the best read on it, but eventually I think it was just because he stumbled and crashed into the wall and was able to get back up. Reading him, wasn't sure that ball was going to leave off the bat.
The pitch outside, ball 1. Didn't really matter what route he took on it. That ball wasn't coming back. It sailed a good 15 feet over the left field fence. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Turley. The pitch. Breaking ball inside, 2-1. First time out this summer for Murphy. He gave up just 1 run, but it was on a home run. He's been tagged for 3 in the top of 3. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Slider that caught Turley out in front. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tyler Murphy trying to put an end to a 3 spot in the top of the 3rd for Falmouth. 2 outs and a 2-2 pitch. Hit high in the air to left field. Uhas back on it. This time he's got a beat, and he's got it just onto the track in left field. Jason Jones got 1. Gavin Turley just missed 1, but it all amounts to a 3-run inning on 3 hits for the Commodores. No errors, nobody left on, and halfway through 3, Falmouth has grabbed the lead 3-2 over Chatham here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
Bottom of the 3rd at Veterans Field, and Falmouth in front for the first time today. 3 spot in the top half for the Commodores. Anglers send the heart of the order to the plate to try and respond. It's 3, 4, and 5. Irish, Kraus, and Arquette due up against Jack Seppings. First full inning of work for the righty. First pitch to Irish, a big swing and a miss, and a low changeup for strike 1. Irish walked his first time to the plate. Lefty batter against the righty reliever Seppings. He winds and fires and misses up and away with a fastball. 1-1. Last summer for Seppings, he started the summer with Amsterdam, the Mohawks in the PGCBL. 1-1. Inside it clipped Irish. A walk and now a hit by pitch to start the evening for Ike in the 3-hole. Leadoff man aboard in the 3rd for Chatham.
The third baseman from Dallas Baptist, number 28, Chatham Kraus.
You mean the Amsterdam Mohawks in New York?
I do.
I know the state this time.
As opposed to the Amsterdam Mohawks over in the Netherlands?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chatham Kraus to the plate from the right side. First pitch. Bender stays high.
Long distance for a flight, I would assume, between the Netherlands and Chatham.
Yeah, there were multiple players called up last summer to the Cape League, specifically to Chatham from Amsterdam in the PGCBL. 1-0. Breaking ball caught and a miss. Kraus was hunting for the fences, and he went to a knee and whiffed on everything. Seppings was one of those guys that came late in the summer. He pitched in 5 games for Chatham. 1-1. Low for ball 2. Across those 5 games, Seppings amassed a 1-1 record. He pitched 14 1/3 innings, and he had a 3.77 earned run average. From the stretch, the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Another huge hack at a slider from Kraus. It's 2-2. Jack Seppings then went back to Brown, hoping to improve on a 4.38 ERA from his sophomore season. His 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Why not go back to the slider? Kraus couldn't hit it. He's down on strikes for the first out in the bottom of the 3rd.
If there's one pitch that Chayton Kraus has been vulnerable to so far in his A's career, it has been the slider. He's punished any fastball over the heart of the plate. He's shown he can hit that pitch. The next step is hitting the breaking stuff.
Well, maybe the scouting report is out a little bit across the league.
Took probably just 2 games.
Right on, right to Arquette, the pitch. On the outside corner, strike 1.
We saw Katuit adjust mid-game pitching to Kraus and still give up a multi-homer game because they gave him 1 fastball in his 3rd at-bat.
Pickoff throw to first is not in time. And that 2-home run game against Katuit in just the 2nd game of the summer for Kraus has started his 4-game hit streak, but he's 0 for 2 tonight. 0-1. Arquette swings through it. 0-2. Seppings ahead in the count with a runner at first and 1 out. 3-2 the Falmouth lead in the bottom of the 3rd. Seppings retoes the right half of the rubber. From the stretch, the righty's 0-2. Swing and a miss. Snapback throw to first, not in time. But it's a 2nd straight strikeout that sends Iva Arquette back to the bench. Eddie Hakopian, the last hope for Chatham in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Seppings had hopes of being drafted this season, but his ERA across 13 starts was at a 7.36 for Brown. First pitch, Irish on the move. It's outside. Throw to second. Sails into center field. And Irish puts the moves on for 3rd. He's in without a throw. 7th stolen base of the summer for Ike. And he moves to 3rd on the throwing error from the catcher Carson Bowen. Possible tying run 90 feet away for Chatham. A's trail at 3-2 with 2 outs in the 3rd. Hakopian doubled his first time to the plate. 2 for 3 to start his summer on the Cape. He awaits the 1-0 and takes on the outside corner, strike 1. Seppings came to Falmouth to try and improve the draft stock. Pitched well, but not quite well enough. 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. 3.00 earned run average in his 12 innings, and he was hoping to hear his name called, but after he was not drafted, he came back for Falmouth, and this is his first appearance since the draft. 1-2. Rides outside. Sun is starting to set behind the trees. Shades of pink and purple amidst a 2-tone blue sky with the clouds and the sky blue behind them. 2-2. Swing and a miss. 3 straight strikeouts for Jack Seppings ends the bottom of the 3rd. A scoreless inning for Chatham. A's can't capitalize on Ike Irish's leadoff hit by pitch. A's go for no runs on no hits, no errors in the field, and 1 man left over at 3rd base. We're through 3 here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. 2 spot in the 2nd on a Will Bermudez RBI single for Chatham, and a 3 spot in the 3rd, thanks in large part to a Jason Jones 2-run homer for Falmouth. Has the Commodores up 3-2 on the Anglers. Through 3. Top of the 4th is next on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC.
Top of the 4th inning here at Veterans Field, 3-2 Falmouth, and Jack Smith takes over on your play-by-play.
Andrew, Gavin Keelan, Carson Bowen, and Robbie Boland due up for Falmouth as Murphy delivers and misses outside with a fastball, 1 ball and no strikes. It's the 5, 6, 7 spot in this Falmouth order. 2 lefties and 1 righty against Chatham's right-handed starter Tyler Murphy. Pitch is flown in the air, a foul ball down the left field line. 1 ball and 1 strike. Keelan, the shortstop from Tennessee, swings it from the left side. He walked his first time to the plate as the lone base runner in the second. From the stretch, the 1-1. Keelan takes high and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. After the Commodores stranded Keelan in the second, they responded and put up 3 runs in the third. 2-1. Keelan flies it foul again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Home run from Jason Jones, the big swing of the bat for Falmouth in the third. Turned a 2-1 Chatham lead into a 3-2 Falmouth advantage. Murphy looking for a response here in the fourth. 2-2. Keelan flies it foul. Over the third base dugout, into the house that's down the third base line. But it's still 2-2. In total, Murphy gave up 3 hits and 3 earned runs in the third. Here's another 2-2. Keelan grounds it through the right side, a base hit. He splits Davis and Hakopian and rounds first with a leadoff single here in the fourth.
The catcher from TCU, number 14.
Andrew Murphy hadn't allowed a hit in the first 2 innings, but now that's 4 for Falmouth already through the third and the fourth. Maybe seeing him a little bit better the second time through the order.
Definitely seems to be the case. Only set down 2 of the first 5 second time through.
Here's Carson Bowen. First pitch, outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Bowen popped out to the right fielder Ashton Larson, who came racing in to make the catch his first time to the plate. But with Gavin Keelan at first, he bats with the runner aboard and nobody out. Keelan crouches into a lead, the 1-0. Taken for a strike. Fastball hits the outside corner, 1-1.
Murphy is a guy with starting experience this year with FAU, so it's not like it's new to him to go through a lineup second and third time.
1-1 pitch. Bowen bounces it foul. 2 Ike Irish waiting in the third base dugout, 1 and 2. And oftentimes, Andrew, you will see starters struggle a little bit more through the second time through a lineup. And managers, if they've got trust, will let them face the lineup a third time, but it's not always the case.
Murphy began the season as a starter at FAU.
Here's his 1-2. And Bowen hits it off the hand, sinking into center field. Bermudez comes on, and it bounces in front of him, a base hit. Soft line drive single for Carson Bowen, and the first 2 reach in the fourth for Falmouth. It's already 3-2 Commodores. And once again, Falmouth is threatening against Tyler Murphy.
Center fielder number 34, Robbie Bowen.
So he began the season as a starter at FAU and then went back to the bullpen. This season, it's the opposite for the A's. Started in the bullpen, and now he gets his first start. He's struggling through the third and the fourth, and now he faces Robbie Boland. Righty facing a lefty. Murphy delivers. Boland squares to bunt, and he puts it down. Right back to Murphy, who slings it to first in time for the out there. But both other runners advance, Keelan to third and Bowen to second. And Boland puts down a sacrifice. Andrew, looked to me like Murphy might have had a chance to either get the lead runner or Bowen at second. It was hit right back to him, but perhaps not hard enough to try and force one of those plays.
Not a perfect bunt. Bowen hit it pretty hard back to the pitcher. Both runners did get a good jump. I think if Murphy was comfortable, he could have spun and thrown to third to try and get the lead runner, but would have been a bang-bang play.
First pitch to LaSalle. Outside. Time fastball at 92, 1 ball and no strikes. LaSalle bounced out to third to start the third inning. In that frame, Murphy got the first out. But then back-to-back singles, a fielder's choice, and the home run from Jason Jones. 1-0. LaSalle takes a strike. Fastball crosses the outside corner, 1-1. pure strikeout spot here for Murphy, who struck out the first 2 batters of the ball game tonight, but hasn't picked up a K since. Runners at second and third with 1 out, and Falmouth up 3-2, top of 4. From the stretch, here's the 1-1. And LaSalle rips it past Arquette into center field, a base hit. Both runners score with ease as LaSalle turns first with a 2 RBI single, and Falmouth leads 5-2. It was bang bang off the bat of Donovan LaSalle, who with Iva Arquette pulled in, put it right past Chatham shortstop for a base hit. And he adds 2 more runs for the Commodores, who have a commanding 3-run lead.
Number 6, Isaiah Arquette.
And Andrew, that brings Eric Beatty out. Pitching coach, who makes all the mound visits, points to the pen and finishes the day for Tyler Murphy. Well, the first 2 innings were great for Murphy, but he struggles through the 3rd, and he only gets 1 out in the 4th. 3 hits and a sac bunt in the inning, and Murphy departs with Chatham trailing 5-2. So new pitcher into the game for the A's. We'll have the name when we come back. Falmouth leads 5-2 as we step away here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network in the top of the 4th.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
Nobody on the road, nobody on the beach. I feel it in the air, the summer's out of reach. Empty lake, empty streets, the sun goes down alone. I'm driving by your house, though I know you're not home. But I can see you, your brown skin shining in the sun. You got your hair combed back and sunglasses on, baby. I can tell you my love for you will still be strong after the poison summer has gone. Never will forget those nights. I wonder if it was a dream. Remember how you made me crazy? Remember how I made you scream? Now I don't understand what happened to our love. But babe, I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna show you what I'm made of. I can see you, your brown skin shining in the sun. I see you walking real slow and smiling at everyone. I can tell you my love for you will still be strong after the poison summer has gone.
Back in the top of the 4th, Falmouth with a 5-2 lead over Chatham, and a new pitcher enters the game for the A's. This call to the bullpen is presented by Chatham Bars Inn, and it brings in one of the A's all-stars, Gabe Van Emmen, on with a runner at first, 1 out. First pitch is slapped foul down the right field line by Isaiah Barquette, first baseman from Stetson. 2 runs in the inning for Falmouth came off the starter Tyler Murphy for the A's. He gave up singles to Keelan and Bowen. Sacrifice bunt from Robbie Bolin moved him over, and LaSalle, the runner at first, slapped him home with a single up the middle. 0-1, no pick back to first. Van Emmen, the lefty, picks up his leg and he points it towards LaSalle to throw a soft lob over there. Checking on the 1 runner for the Commodores. Now Van Emmen bends at the waist. He looks in for a sign from Smithwick and comes set at the belt. Steers to first and delivers. And it's off the hands, popped up shallow right. Davis races out. The second baseman corrals it as he gets into the outfield for out number 2. Running catch from Jaden Davis, who was shaded up the middle looking to turn a double play. He pulls down the second out of the inning. And for the third time, the top of the lineup comes up for Falmouth. Van Emmen takes over for Tyler Murphy in his 4th appearance of the summer for the A's. All have come out of the bullpen after he was a starter at UConn this past year. He looks in at the switch-hitting bat Jackson Willits, who bats from the right side. First pitch, square for a bunt and a slider in the dirt, 1-0. So Willits, who batted left-handed against Murphy his first 2 times, as Chatham's bullpen gets a warning from Mickey Garcia, the home plate umpire. Willits batted lefty his first 2 times to the plate with a righty on the mound. And now with Van Emmen pitching from the left side, Willis switches spots. He's in the right-hand batter's box. 1-0 pitch. Outside with a fastball, 2-0. And his first 3 appearances, Van Emmen spun a 1.93 earned run average across 9 1/3 innings. That's 2 earned runs, just 4 hits allowed. He delivers and hits the outside corner with a fastball, 2-1. 12 strikeouts to 2 walks for Van Emmen across those first 3 appearances. And even in his short time with the A's, he impressed enough to make the East Division All-Star team. Here's his 2-1. It's flown foul. Backing out of play. It's 2-2. So Van Emmen needs just 1 more strike to finish the 4th. Commodores have gotten 2 runs in the inning on 3 hits already. Runner at first, 2 away. 2-2 pitch is popped up foul once again. Over the Falmouth dugout and out of play. Still 2-2. Willett struck out looking to start the ball game in the first before he singled in the 3rd. Put the first Falmouth run on the board with an RBI. Another pick to first. Sends LaSalle scrambling back to the bag. He's got 1 stolen base in 2 tries so far this year. Left on right matchup. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jackson Willits. Van Emmen throws. Runner on the move, and it's lined foul down the left field line. Long, hard strike keeps the count at 2-2 as Van Emmen left a breaking ball right out over the heart of the plate. LaSalle was off for second on the pitch, and we'll see if he goes again with 2 strikes. Again, an even 2-2 count. Jaden Davis, the second baseman, inches closer to the second base bag. He was the one covering as LaSalle stole from first. Van Emmen nods. He's got the 2-2 sign. He pitches, and it's dribbled foul. Back towards the Chatham dugout to keep the count 2-2. Sunset that once was is no longer with us here at Veterans Field. Pink has turned into a deep blue color up above. Still streaking clouds. We've had a mixture of fog, clouds, and sun today. Another pick goes to first, and LaSalle's easily back. It did rain pretty hard overnight, but we showed up to the field in the morning thinking there was a chance that it might be too soaked to play tonight, and there were barely any puddles. It was pretty clear from the get-go we were going to play. Another pick to first, and it's an easy scramble back for LaSalle. Weather app said ½ an inch of rain. Veterans Field didn't show it. See if Van Emmen deals. He does. And he misses outside with a breaking ball, 3-2. A lot of attention to first at Donovan LaSalle from Gabe Van Emmen. But now with a 3-2 count and 2 outs, LaSalle absolutely on the move. Jackson Willits waves his bat through the zone, awaits the 3-2. Here it is. He swings and misses strike 3. He slams the bat, black barrel to the ground in the other batter's box as he strikes out against Van Emmen for the final out of the 4th. But the Commodores get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors in the field, and 1 runner left on base. 5-2 Falmouth on top as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. A's bring up the bottom of the order when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
Bottom third of the order due up for the A's as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. 5-2 Falmouth on top against Chatham. And Jaden Davis, Luke Uhas, and Campbell Smithwick will bat against Jack Seppings, who stays out on the mound. Righty reliever for Falmouth works against the right-handed Davis. Works from the windup. He kicks and he deals. And Davis takes a spinner for a strike. Breaking ball hits the inside corner, 0-1. Davis the righty, and then Uhas another right-handed bat before Campbell Smithwick due up third, hits from the left side. 0-1. Davis hits a high pop-up on the infield towards short. Keelan lost it. Now he backs up in shallow center, fights the sky and makes the catch. Right off the bat, Keelan went palms to the sky, and he needed a little bit of vocal help from his left fielder Donovan LaSalle to find the pop-up and pull down out number 1.
Jack, he wasn't the only one. Just about every infielder for Falmouth struggled to find that baseball.
Of course, it's the shortstop that's the one that has to get it. Captain of the infield. But Gavin Keelan made it work, and he found the first out. So here's Luke Uhas, the pitch. He takes it well high with a fastball, 1-0. Uhas, the new left fielder from Louisiana, struck out swinging his first at-bat. Hits righty against the righty, Jack Seppings, who delivers 1-0. Swing and a miss from Uhas. Chased a breaking ball that bounced before home plate, 1-1. 5-2 Falmouth on top. We're in the bottom of the 4th here at Veterans Field. 5 runs on 6 hits for the Commodores, 2 runs on 2 hits. And all of them came in the 2nd inning for the A's. Seppings is 1-1. Swing and a miss again. He went back to the well with the breaking ball and got a big fish out of Uhas, who's down in the count 1-2. 1 out and the base is empty for the 8-hole man Uhas. 1-2 pitch. He pops it up foul. Out of play first base side to stay alive, 1-2. Infield shifts Uhas to pull. Shortstop Keelan is well off of the bag at second, which means Willits trails him a bit over at second base. On the outfield grass in shallow center, pinched up the middle. Another 1-2 offering. In the dirt with a fastball, 2-2. With Willits moving over at second, Barquette, the first baseman, has to fill a little bit of the empty space. The first baseman takes about 6 or 7 steps to the normal position for a first baseman to his right, playing well off the line. 2-2. Oh, on the outside corner, strike 3 call. Uhas down on strikes for the 2nd time. 1 swinging and now 1 looking, and it's already the 8th strikeout for Falmouth pitching. We're just 2 outs into the 4th, Andrew.
How good has Jack Seppings been so far? 5 strikeouts through the first 7 he's faced.
Lone blemish, a hit by pitch, and Jaden Davis's pop-up to short is the only ball the A's have put in play. So here's Campbell Smithwick from the 9 spot. First pitch, lefty takes inside, 1-0. Falmouth 5, Chatham 2, bottom of the 4th inning at Veterans Field. Getting darker and darker by the minute. Seppings deals. Check swing from Smithwick, and he did not go around. Fastball at 90 missed low, and Campbell held up, so it's 2 balls and no strikes. Smithwick, the left-handed hitting Ole Miss catcher, walked and scored Chatham's only run back in the 2nd inning. Rather, one of the 2 runs from that frame. 2-0. He takes a slider, strike 1 call. Bent back over the outside corner out of the hand of Seppings, 2-1. Eddie Hakopian also scored for the A's back in the 2nd inning. Both of them came on an RBI single from Will Bermudez. 2-1. Swing and a miss from Smithwick. He chased the changeup off the outside corner. It's 2-2. So Seppings, who's been dominant in relief of Mac Hewer, has a chance for his first 1-2-3 inning. Davis a pop out. Uhas a strikeout, and the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Smithwick a strikeout, and it's a 1-2-3 frame for Jack Seppings. That's his 6th strikeout. It's the 9th overall for the Commodores through the first 4 frames, and Falmouth has cruised out to a 5-2 lead. Van Emmen heads back out for the 5th, and we'll step away here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Carey, Jones, and Turley for Falmouth due up. When we come back for the top of the 5th inning, you're listening to A's Baseball here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ.
At Veterans Field. 5-2 Commodores on top of Chatham, and Dylan Carey, Jason Jones, and Gavin Turley step to the plate. It's still the lefty Gabe Van Emmen for Chatham. Reliever entered to get final 2 outs in the 4th inning. All-Star stares in for his sign and comes set at the belt. First pitch is down low to Carey, 1 ball and no strikes. So Van Emmen, the lefty, faces 3 straight righties here in the 5th inning. Carey, Jones, and Turley all hacking from the right side. 1-0. High to Carey, 2 balls and no strikes. Carey, the third baseman from Nebraska, is 0 for 2 today, but he has scored a run. Struck out swinging in the 1st, reached on a fielder's choice, and was scored by Jason Jones's home run. 2-0. He lines this one back to the screen, 2-1. Jones is on deck, and that 2-run blast is what put Falmouth in front. Made it 3-2, top of the 3rd inning. 2 more runs put on the board by the Commodores in the 4th. Van Emmen's 2-1 is taken outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. So this is the part of the order that Van Emmen needs to be most careful with. 2, 3, 4 in the groups that's done the damage tonight for Falmouth. 3-1. High and outside, ball 4. And it's a leadoff walk to start the 5th for Dylan Carey. Second walk of the day for the A's, first out of the pen for Gabe Van Emmen. Other one was charged to Tyler Murphy, the starter. And if you're scoring at home, Tyler Murphy went 3 1/3. Gave up 6 hits, 5 runs with all of them earned. 2 strikeouts and a walk. Here is Jason Jones, who launched that home run in the 3rd. First pitch to him. He takes it for a strike, a fastball painted on the outside corner, 0-1. Right fielder from Oklahoma State has lined out sharply to second. And Homer deep to left. Struck the ball well each of his first 2 times to the plate, but both against Murphy. 0-1. He cues this one foul here. Foul first base side and out of play. It's quickly 0-2. Van Emmen retakes the mound on the stretch from the left side. Third base side of the rubber, he looks in Smithwick for his sign. Nods with the 0-2-1 he wants. Here's his pitch. It's down low with a fastball, 1-2. Davis at second, pinches near the bag. Arquette is swiveled out a bit to his right, and Jones is left. 1-2. Runner moves from first, pitches low. Here's Smithwick's throw. It skips in too late. And an easy steal of second for Dylan Carey, who was almost fully slid into the bag by the time that throw bounced to Davis. He puts himself in scoring position with nobody out. Pitch was the slider, too, from Van Emmen below the zone. Not an easy pitch to throw on for Campbell Smithwick. What a perfect storm on that pitch for Falmouth. Runner to second, now a 2-2 count for Jason Jones. Van Emmen sets at the bell. He looks at second. He delivers. And Jones chops it on the right side. Davis waits for the low hop. He throws to first, and he gets Jones by a step. But on the play, Carey moves from second to third, and Falmouth has advanced another potential run to 90 feet away with just one out. And while we've got time here in the top of the fifth, Andrew, how about we check out the MLB scoreboard presented by Mahi Gold Outfitters?
All right, Jack, there's some rain across the country, so the Reds and Braves are in a delay, as are the Brewers and the Cubs. Plenty of baseball going on nonetheless. Yankees and Mets at Yankee. 1-0. New York Yankees over the Mets, top of 5.
First pitch to Gavin Turley is a check swing at a slider in the dirt. That he did go around at. A late appeal to first, and Matt Newman, the first base umpire, rung up Gavin Turley, so it's 0-1. Infield has come in for the A's with a runner at third, Dylan Carey, and 1 out. A 5-2 Falmouth advantage in the top of the fifth. Van Emmen, the lefty, delivers. And Turley takes outside 1-1. Luckily, Andrew, the rain here throughout the Cape did not hinder our ability to play tonight.
Yeah, as of about two days ago, I would say, the forecast looked terrible for today and tomorrow, but seemed like we're in a pretty good spot right now to get both in.
1-1, high and outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. It's the cleanup man, Gavin Turley, at the plate. Powerful right-handed hitter. Against the lefty, Gabe Van Emmen, runner at third, 1 out. Two-one pitch. Turley takes on the inside corner. A slider for a strike, it's 2-2.
Couple more scores for you. Chatham alum Connor Joe has a hit for the Pirates, but it's Cardinals 1 and Pirates 0 in the top of the 8th.
2-2. Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Another Chatham alum, Chris Bryant, gets the start for the Rockies tonight. They host the Red Sox at 8:40.
So now an important pitch for Gabe Van Emmen. 3 balls and 2 strikes, runner at third, 1 out. Payoff on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Dropped the hammer on him with the curveball near the back foot. He strikes out Gavin Turley for the second out of the 5th. And Andrew, that's a big strikeout. Turley just needed to put the ball in play either on the infield or somewhere deep enough on the outfield to try and score Carey from third, but Van Emmen able to K him with the curveball.
Yeah, not shocked to see Van Emmen go out of the zone there either.
First pitch swinging and a ground ball towards first. Hakopian snares it, he runs to the bag, flips to Van Emmen, and they get Keelan at first. Keelan smacked it down the line, but Hakopian went down to a knee, had to scramble to his feet and flip to his pitcher covering. And they retire Gavin Keelan on 1 pitch. So the Commodores get a runner to third with just 1 out in the inning. But Van Emmen strikes out Gavin Turley, and he gets Gavin Keelan to bounce out to retire the side. Means it's no runs on no hits in the inning, 1 walk with no errors, and 1 runner left on base for Falmouth. We're halfway home here at Veterans Field, 5-2 Falmouth on top as we head to the bottom of the 5th here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
The Cape's leader, sports radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, give me all a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, give me all a prayer. Johnny's got his 6 string high.
Top of the order for the A's as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. 5-2 Falmouth on top, but the Anglers send Will Bermudez, Ashton Larson, and Ike Irish to the plate. They'll all face a new pitcher for Falmouth. Nick Gravel enters the game in relief of Jack Seppings. This call to the bullpen is presented by Chatham Bars Inn. Bermudez, the switch hitter, swings it from the left side against the new righty, who throws and hits the top of the zone with a fastball 0-1. Heater coming in at just 87 miles an hour for Nick Gravel, who takes over for an excellent Jack Seppings that bridged the gap between he and Hewer. 0-1 pitch. Hits Bermudez on the front knee. 4th hit by pitch in the last 2 games for Will Bermudez, and he puts himself at first with nobody out. A strong, strong magnet.
Something like that. He almost leaned into that one. Carson Bowen is asking a few questions, the catcher for Falmouth, of the home plate umpire Mickey Garcia. Thought that he might have twisted that front knee toward it.
I'm going to tell Will you said that.
What, that he leaned into the ball?
He's at first for Ashton Larson, who swings and pops it up on the infield. Foul territory, third base side. Bowen is over, the catcher loses the mask, and he's out of room. It's out of play, a foul ball, 0-1. I'm going to tell him you don't fully believe in the powers of the hit-by-pitch magnet that is Will Bermudez.
Sure, go ahead.
He was hit 3 times in the game against Brewster, and he scored a run all 3 times.
You tell me tomorrow on the broadcast what his response was.
I will. No balls and 1 strike to the lefty Larson. Gravel spins and picks to first, and Bermudez dives in safely. So if he scored all 3 times against Brewster with 3 hit by pitches, bottom of the 5th may bode well for the A's, who trail 5-2. 0-1 to Larson. He swings and lines it straight back. It's quickly 0-2. Ashton walked in the first inning before striking out to end the second. First at-bat came against Mac Hewer, the starter, who lasted just 1 2/3. Second at-bat came against Jack Seppings. He was the first batter that Seppings faced, struck him out, pretty much struck everyone else out the rest of the way. 0-2 from Gravel. Bermudez takes off, pitches outside, throw to second. In time, he's out. And he knew it. He pops up, he runs to second. Lost a batting glove in the process, but he picks it up. And he's the first out of the inning. Not the greatest jump from Will Bermudez, who's been thrown out for the first time on the Cape. That clears the bases and puts 1 out on the board as the count moves to 1-2 on Larson. Infield now straightens up for the lefty Larson. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Changeup is low, 2-2. By the time Bermudez started his slide into second, Keelan at short already had the ball from Carson Bowen and was just waiting to figure out where to apply the tag. He picked the left arm and he got him. Now the 2-2 pitch. Inside, almost hit Larson, 3-2. And so Ashton tries to reach for the second time today, with Ike Irish waiting on deck. Gravel stares in, he sets out the belt. Deep breath and the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Went to the fastball at 90 miles an hour to get Larson down swinging. 2 outs in the 5th. 10th strikeout already for Falmouth pitching as the second out of the 5th inning. A 5-2 Falmouth lead. And with 2 outs and nobody on, here comes Ike Irish. Gravel, the righty, facing the lefty Irish. Pitches. Swing and a miss from Ike, 0-1. That fastball ran up to 91. Felt like Gravel might have been sandbagging his first couple fastballs that were in the mid to maybe high 80s. And now he's really running it up there. Oh, 0-1 on the way. Hits the inside corner quickly, 0-2. That one at 90. And the A's are down to their final strike in the 5th. Irish has been aboard 2 times today. Walked in the first, hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Gravel shakes one side from Bowen and now comes set. 0-2 pitch. Irish flies it foul. Back over our heads, third base side in the press box. Still 0-2. Again, 5-2 Falmouth in front, bottom of the 5th inning at Veterans Field. Both teams coming off an off day. Both teams picked up wins heading into the break. Another 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew the fastball by Irish right after he did the same thing to Larson. And the leadoff hit by pitch. Doesn't matter. Gravel faces the minimum as Bowen throws out Bermudez trying to steal, and back-to-back strikeouts end the inning. It's a 1-2-3 frame with no runs on no hits, no errors in the field, and no runners left on base. Heading to the 6th, it'll be Bowen, Bolin, and LaSalle as Van Emmen heads back to the mound. 5-2 Falmouth on top. 6th inning coming up here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
I got so down and out in Frisco, tired of the pills and the rain. I picked up headed for the sunshine. I left a good thing behind. Seemed all of our love was in vain. Now my baby's coming in on the Tucson train. I come here looking for a new life, one I wouldn't have to explain. That voice that keeps me
Trudging on to the top of the 6th, a 5-2 Falmouth lead. And the Commodores bring Carson Bowen, Robbie Bolin, and Donovan LaSalle to the plate against the lefty Gabe Van Emmen. It's 2 righties and a lefty for Falmouth, a 3-run advantage. And Van Emmen starts his 2nd full inning of work. Lefty from Yukon pins his glove at his hip and now comes set at the belt. First pitch is on the outside to Carson Bowen. Fastball at 90 miles an hour makes the count 0-1. Van Emmen came in to get the final 2 outs of the 4th inning and worked a scoreless 5th, just 1 over the minimum. 0-1. Bowen cracks it foul. Back to the netting on a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-2. And now facing the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the lineup. Van Emmen tries to keep the game close with Chatham down by 3. East Division All-Star shakes a couple signs from Smithwick and now comes set. 0-2. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. 3-pitch K for Van Emmen, his 2nd out of the bullpen and Chatham's 4th of the day. Andrew, here on the top of the 6th, I think it's time to check out the Cape League scoreboard presented by Sweet Tomatoes Pizza.
Jack, I don't know if you're going to believe this, but
please don't tell me another tie
at Red Wilson Field.
You have got to be kidding me. Lefty Robbie Bolin takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
YD has tied its 4th game of the summer. It comes 3-3 against Brewster. They did not play the 10th inning.
1-0. At the top of the zone with a slider, 1-1. So light.
Riddle me this. They ran out of light at YD.
Right after the Red Sox scored 2 in the bottom of the 9th. 1-1. Bolin takes inside. He checked his swing at a fastball, 2-1.
So not only did they score 2 in the bottom of the 9th, they scored 2 in the bottom of the 9th to tie the game with 2 outs. 1st and 2nd, and Anthony Martinez doubled them both home.
2-1 pitch. High and tight. 3 balls and 1 strike. Can't get over this tie. The East Division standings are so unbelievably ugly now, with YD having 4 ties. 3-1. Bolin takes outside, ball 4. And the new center fielder from Nebraska for Falmouth has reached base for the first time. He draws a 1-out walk and comes to the plate for Donovan LaSalle. Bolin had previously bounced into a fielder's choice in the second. Sack bunted in the fourth. That sack bunt was a big part of that fourth inning in which Falmouth was able to put up 2 more runs. It was 3-2 Falmouth, and now it's 5-2. Here's Donovan LaSalle, and he takes low. Bounces into the chest protector of Smithwick, who keeps it in front 1-0. LaSalle, the right-handed hitting left fielder from Oklahoma State, comes to the plate with a runner at first. 1 out in the inning. It's 5-2 Falmouth, top of the 6th. Van Emmen sets at his waist, 1-0. That's on the outside corner with a fastball, 1-1.
Some more scores for you, Jack.
Please.
Wareham's up 10-4 at home against Orleans. Bourne's up 8-2 at Harwich.
1-1. Runner on the move from first. Throw from Smithwick. Not in time. Bolin swipes second. It's the second stolen base in as many innings for Falmouth against Campbell Smithwick. And there's a runner at second base with just 1 out.
Your final score is 6-2 Catuit over Hyannis, top of the 9th. So as it stands, Harwich would remain 1 game back of Orleans for the battle for 4th place in the East.
2-1 to LaSalle. He nubs it over towards second. Davis is down to pick it up. He throws to first, and it's in time to get LaSalle. Bolin advances to third on the play. So for the second straight inning, there's a runner at third base for Falmouth. This time it's with 2 outs, and Isaiah Barquette will hit. What I'm hearing is the teams that have won a lot of games this summer continue to win, and the teams that have lost a lot of games this summer continue to lose.
For the most part, the teams, especially that tied a lot this summer, continue to tie.
Unbelievable. Here's Isaiah Barquette, runner at third, 2 outs. And he takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
Of note for Falmouth fans, Bourne up 8-2 on Harwich in the top of the 6th. Braves had a 2.5 game lead on Falmouth coming into today, and they're looking to keep that.
1-0. Barquette takes a strike, 1-1. First baseman from Stetson is 1 for 2 today with a single. He's also scored a run. The Commodores really have to keep pace with the Braves. Anytime that Bourne wins, it feels almost necessary at this point that Falmouth picks up a win too. 1-1. Swing and a miss, and he lost the bat. Clangs off the netting third base side as Barquette lost the handle and the barrel flew with it, helicoptering towards the fans, who luckily have a net protecting him sitting right behind the brakes. Means that Barquette will take the walk to pick up the new pine tar stick and rub it along the handle. On the pitch, the count moved to a ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Van Emmen trying to strand yet another runner at third after he struck out Turley and got Gavin Keelan to bounce out to first with a runner at third and 1 out last inning. This time it's Bolin who's over there. 2 outs in the frame with Falmouth up 5-2. The lefty Van Emmen against the righty Isaiah Barquette. Pitcher set, the 1-2. Taken high with a fastball, 2-2. That's your Cape League scoreboard presented by Sweet Tomatoes Pizza. Have an update on the rest of the final scores in the Anglers Extra post-game show. Now the 2-2 pitch is popped up foul. Backing out of play first base side. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Van Emmen looking for a second straight scoreless inning. He has stopped the bleeding so far on the mound for the Yays after a combined 5 runs for Falmouth placed up on the board between the 3rd and the 4th. Another 2-2 is chopped back to the netting. Hit off the backstop. The padding behind home plate collects yet another foul ball. It's still 2-2. Bolin walked with 1 out, stole second and advanced to third on the 4-3 put out to Donovan LaSalle. And now Isaiah Barquette, the 9-hole man, looking to bring him in. Van Emmen deals. Taken low. Slider near the back foot, 3 balls and 2 strikes. If Barquette were to reach, leadoff man Jackson Willits, who's 1 for 3, is on deck. Van Emmen nods, agrees with Smithwick. The 3-2 is popped up foul. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes as Isaiah Barquette's really building a battle here against Gabe Van Emmen. He's spoiled a couple of tough pitches, and the next one he sees in this at-bat is number 9. Runner at third, 2 outs, and a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Pitch on the way. Foul again. Still above the netting. We'll see a 10th pitch from Van Emmen to Barquette. It's 100% dark now here at Veterans Field. Cape Cod Baseball after dark with a black night sky up above. A 10-pitch battle brewing between Van Emmen and Barquette. Something's got to give between these two. Another 3-2. Taken, strike 3 call. On the 10th pitch, Van Emmen wins the battle. He strikes out 2 in the inning, and he strands yet another runner at third. In the 6th for Falmouth, it's no runs on no hits, no errors in the field, 1 walk, and 1 runner left on base. Bottom of the inning coming up, and the middle of the order to the plate for the A's. Krause, Arquette, and Jacoby in the 3 to the plate, with Chatham trailing 5-2. Stick with us here from Veterans Field. You're listening to A's Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham trailing it by 3.
Chatham A's on the air.
I bet you never heard old Marshall Dillon say, Miss Kitty, have you ever thought of running away? Settling down, would you marry me? If I ask you twice and beg you pretty please. She'd have said yes in a New York minute. They never tied a knot. His heart wasn't in it. He just stole a kiss as he rode away. He never hung his hat up at Kitty's place. I should have been a cowboy. I should have learned to rope and ride. Wearing my 6-shooter, riding my pony on a cattle drive. Stealing a young girl's hearts, just like Gene and Lloyd. Singing those
Falmouth 5 and Chatham 2 as we come back for the bottom of the 6th inning at Veterans Field. The heart of the order to the plate for the A's against the right-handed reliever Nick Gravel. Chayton Krause the first one to greet him. A right-hander facing the righty Gravel. First pitch on the way. Curveball misses low as Gravel stumbles down the left side of the hill. 1 ball and no strikes. It's Krause and then Arquette and Hakopian, all 3 right-handed bats with Chatham down by 3. Gravel, the righty reliever, sets at his belt. Front foot offset, the 1-0. Big curveball is way high again. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, he's thrown that pitch back to back. One bounced in front of home plate and the other sailed 5 feet above the head of Carson Bowen, the catcher, who came out of his crouch. Now the 2-0 pitch. Fastball outside. 3 balls and no strikes. And after Nick Gravel came in and worked a 1-2-3, 5th inning, his sights just aren't quite set yet in the 6th. 3-0. Outside, ball 4. And not particularly close as Krause loses the bat and the protection over towards the third base dugout. He draws a leadoff walk in the 6th.
University of Washington, number 13, Iva Arquette.
Well, Andrew, this bullpen for Falmouth has really closed the door on the A's across the last 3 innings. Scoreless frames in the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. A's looking for any kind of window that Gravel is willing to give them here in the 6th. Here's Arquette, the batter. Long pause in the first pitch. Is popped up. Right field line. Long run for Jones, the right fielder, who comes racing in. It's the second baseman, Willits, who pops in front of him to make the catch. So after Gravel missed on all 4 pitches to Chayton Krause, Arquette's retired on the first one he sees for out number 1.
Jack, obviously, Gabe Van Emmen, the all-star for Chatham, has done what the A's have hoped. He's left a runner at third base here in a couple of innings, but the offense just has not been there since they got 2 off the starter, Mac Hewer.
5-2 Falmouth. And the A's at bat in the bottom of the 6th, the runner at first and 1 out. Eddie Hakopian, the hitter, and the pitch is taken at the belt for a strike. It's 0-1.
There hasn't been a whole lot of good contact either. It's not like Chatham's hitting it but right at defenders. Heck of a lot of strikeouts from this bullpen from Falmouth.
0-1 from Gravel. Curveball lands for strike 2. That time he placed it perfectly on the outer edge, so it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Hakopian. First baseman from Maryland has a double. Maybe the lone ball hit well for the A's today. Long pause, the 0-2 is popped up into right field. This time it's Jones who comes in. He calls off Willett, and he makes the catch out number 2. But Andrew, to your point, the one swing of the bat that the A's scored on was a Will Bermudez ground ball to first base that was hit pretty hard. But the A's got a break in the fact that it jumped over the glove of Barquette at first. It was originally marked an error and then switched to a hit. Now Jaden Davis comes up. Runner at first, 2 outs in the inning. Pick goes to first and Krause dives back to the bag.
And it really was the second time through the order against Chatham starter Tyler Murphy that has the A's down in this game right now.
3 runs in the third, 2 in the fourth for Falmouth. Another pick to first, and Krause, the big third baseman, dives back in.
No real way to predict what happened either because Murphy was phenomenal his first time through.
Ran into the gauntlet in the third. Now the first pitch to Davis. He lines it straight back to the screen, 0-1. Well, all of the A's now are coming to the bat, and they're swinging it quickly against Nick Gravel. He didn't fill up the zone at all to Chayton Krause, but the last 3 A's have jumped on him. First 2 retired. Krause gets his lead off of first, 2 outs in the inning. And the 0-1 pitch. Curveball is high, 1-1. For Murphy, the big blow was the 2-run home run from Jason Jones with 2 outs in the third. Made a 2-1 Chatham lead, a 3-2 Falmouth lead. And it all came undone there for Murphy. 1-1 pitch. Davis takes low. Backhanded stop from Bowen. Ball falls out of his glove, but Krause was already heading back to first, and he stays there, 2 balls and 1 strike. Infield plays Davis to pull. Keelan and Carey shifted over towards the third base line on the left side. Second baseman Willits plays up the middle. 2-1 pitch. Davis hits a high fly ball, medium depth, right center field. Bull and the new center fielder's under it, and he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. Chatham can't make anything out of the leadoff walk to Chayton Krause. It's 3 straight pop-ups. 1 to second, 1 to right, and 1 to center. So the A's get no runs on no hits, no errors in the field, and 1 runner left on base. So Van Emmen's going to try and keep it close. He heads out for the top of the 7th. He'll face Jackson Willits, Dylan Carey, and Jason Jones. A's trail 5-2. Stick with us at Veterans Field on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
Sun coming up over New York City. School bus driver in a traffic jam. Staring at the faces in a rearview mirror. Looking at the promise of the promised land. One kid dreams of fame and fortune. One kid helps pay the rent. One could end up going to prison. One just might be president. Only in America.
Top of the order and the top of the 7th for Falmouth as the Commodores hold a comfortable 5-2 lead here in the top of the 7th inning. It's Jackson Willits, Dylan Carey, and Jason Jones to the plate against Gabe Van Emmen. a left-handed reliever who stays out on the hill for the A's. Willits, the switch hitter, will bat righty against Van Emmen, the lefty. Leadoff man is 1 for 3 so far for Falmouth. Stands in the back of the box. First pitch. He dribbles it back and foul.
Playing shortstop for the Anglers.
Couple of defensive replacements for you here at Veterans Field. Kyle Lodis has come in at short for the A's. He takes over for Iva Arquette. And the new first baseman is Robin Villeneuve, no longer Eddie Hakopian.
Robin Villeneuve at first base for the Anglers.
Lodis is getting stretched out there at short, jumping up and down, bending to touch his toes. He's got his glove in his throwing hand, as our home plate umpire Mickey Garcia went out to have a word with Van Emmen. No balls and 1 strike on the leadoff man Jackson Willits. Nobody aboard and no outs here in the top of the 7th. Van Emmen throws and hits the outside corner with a fastball, 0-2. If you're just joining us, Falmouth got 3 runs in the 3rd and 2 in the 4th. Big swing of the bat from Jason Jones, who's due up 3rd in this inning. 2-run home run in the 3rd. 0-2. Check swing and a fastball outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Perhaps a few changes for Chatham, hoping to spark some offense when back at the plate. A's haven't had a hit since the 2nd, Jack.
Took the words right out of my mouth. A 2-hitter so far for Falmouth. 1-2 is cracked foul down the right field line and out of play. Still a ball and 2 strikes. In that 2nd inning, the A's got 2 hits and 2 runs. Eddie Hakopian, who started the game at first, led off with a double. And even after back-to-back strikeouts, Campbell Smithwick walked, made his way to 2nd, and Will Bermudez knocked them both in with a single. That hit from Bermudez is the last one that the A's have picked up tonight. Another 1-2 to Willits. In the dirt with a fastball. Skips by Smithwick and off Mickey Garcia. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Garcia responds by dancing around Smithwick to his right and firing a bullet at Gabe Van Emmen on the mound. 2-2 pitch. High and outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Not sure I see an umpire do that all that often. But Garcia showed off the arm and threw a perfect strike into the glove of Chatham's lefty reliever.
That's Mickey Garcia for you.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Willits caught a piece, but it's right back into the glove of Smithwick. That's the 5th strikeout out of the bullpen for Gabe Van Emmen. 2nd straight after he struck out Isaiah Barquette to finish the 6th. And there's 1 out in the 7th inning.
Mickey will do a sprint down the line if he's at 1st or 3rd, and if he's at the plate, he'll fire new baseballs back to the mound at about 90 miles per hour.
Here's Dylan Carey, first pitch. Slider on the outside corner, 0-1. Well, I was impressed by the throw. Unfortunately, we don't get TrackMan from home to the mound. It's the other way around. 0-1 pitch. High and outside to Carey, 1-1. Dylan Carey, the 3rd baseman from Nebraska, swings it from the right side against the lefty Gabe Van Emmen. Has struck out, bounced into a fielder's choice, but walked his last time to the plate. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. That was the breaking ball that bent back over the outside corner for Van Emmen, who's into another 2-strike count, looking for his 3rd straight strikeout. 1 out, the base is empty, and a 5-2 Falmouth lead. Van Emmen delivers, and it's hit high in the air left field. Uhas to the track, looks up at the wall, off the scoreboard. Long home run to left for Dylan Carey, and a solo shot adds insurance for Falmouth. It's 6-2. You could hear the clang all the way from here as Dylan Carey punished the blue Veterans Field scoreboard past the left field wall. And the 2nd Falmouth homer of the day adds to the Commodores' lead. A whole lot of energy in that first base dugout as the stalemate is broken and Falmouth gets its first run off the reliever Gabe Van Emmen. Now here's Jason Jones, and he takes a strike, 0-1. Jones is the one that hit that home run earlier. Went to a similar spot in left, but not quite as far. This one off the bat of Dylan Carey, 370 feet. 0-1. Jones pops it up, foul, no balls and 2 strikes. Commodores as many home runs tonight as the A's have hits, and the latest has made it 6-2 Falmouth and the top of the 7th. 0-2 from Van Emmen. High with a fastball, 1-2. And for Chatham's lefty reliever, an all-star selection. Just the 3rd earned run he's allowed, and the 1st home run he's given up on the Cape. 1-2. Strike 3 call. Payne at the bottom of the zone at the knees with a fastball. He strikes out Jason Jones. But between the strikeouts for Willits and Jones, sandwiched in the middle is the long home run for Dylan Carey. That brings Gavin Turley to the plate with 2 outs and the bases empty. A run in on the solo shot from Falmouth's 3rd baseman. It's 6-2 Commodores on top. Turley, the right-handed hitter, facing the lefty Van Emmen. He takes a strike. Fastball at the knees, 0-1. Big crowd that's gone mostly quiet here at Veterans Field. Just a mumble behind home plate as the A's trail at 6-2 in the 7th. 0-1. High and outside to Turley, 1-1. All-Star game is on Tuesday. Van Emmen, or rather on Saturday. Van Emmen pitches today, Tuesday. Sheets wants to make sure he's able to pitch in the All-Star game. 1-1. Outside to Turley, 2-1. And so, Andrew, this could be the final appearance before the All-Star break for the lefty from Yukon. He sets at the belt, the 2-1. High and outside, 3 balls and 1 strike.
Usually each pitcher in that All-Star game will toss 1 inning, so you would expect Van Emmen to pitch a long outing today, rest until Saturday, pitch an inning there, and then probably be available to go as soon as the A's are back in action Monday.
3-1 is outside, and Turley draws a walk. 3rd walk allowed by Van Emmen out of the bullpen, puts a runner at first with 2 outs.
The shortstop, number 3.
Van Emmen pitches today on the 23rd, exactly a week after he last pitched, and it was against Falmouth in Falmouth. He went 2 innings that night after going 3 2/3 in each of his first 2 appearances for the A's. Now he faces the lefty Gavin Keelan with a runner at first. He throws, and Keelan takes a slider high, 1 ball and no strikes. A run in on a solo shot from Dylan Carey has pushed the Falmouth lead 6-2 in the top of the 7th. Turley off of first, 2 outs, and the 1-0 is hit high in the air, right center field. Bermudez is over to his left, racing, and he makes the catch on the track as he crashes into the wall in the right center field gap.
Will Bermudez
Put the left-hand glove up, picked it, and crashed into the wall as he lowered his left shoulder. That saves a run and maybe a couple in this inning for Falmouth. But they do get a run on the Dylan Carey solo shot. So it's 6-2 Falmouth as we stretch it out here at Veterans Field. We'll step away, but we'll hand it over to Peter Burns here at Veterans Field for the 7th inning stretch.
Alex, LeBron, Wyatt, Kennedy. That's you. Anthony, Owen, Layla, Nico, Georgia, Moira, Tom, Sophia. Who did I miss? All right, are you ready? Okay. All right, on 3. Tom, where are you? Hi, Tom. Tom made it too. Moira, did you make it? All right, hi. What's your name?
Georgia.
Hi, Georgia. Okay, on 3. Ready? A 1, a 2, a 3.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Find me some beautiful Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I'll ever get back to the day. Root for the Anglers. Let's sing the same. Right, 1, 2, 3 steps around the old ball game.
Let's hear it for the 7th inning stretch singers. Fantastic job.
Take Me Out to the Ball Game performed at Veterans Field. Andrew, a couple of screamers in that group.
Couple of people that might need to learn the words as well.
Well, that's a constant. That happens every night. But we love it. And the 7th inning stretch was a good one. We hope you stretched with us here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. It's 6-2 Falmouth as the A's come to the plate in the bottom of the 7th. It'll be the 8-9-1 hitters for Chatham. Luke Uhas, Campbell Smithwick, and Will Bermudez to the plate. Nick Gravel stays on the hill. He'll pitch for Falmouth here in the bottom of the 7th. Facing the righty, left fielder from Louisiana, Luke Uhas, who's 0 for 2 in his debut. Gravel throws. Uhas takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes. A run in the top half of this inning on a solo home run from Dylan Carey. 2nd home run of the night for Falmouth. Just 2 hits for the A's. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Powerful cut from Uhas, who comes up empty. So it's a ball and a strike. Campbell Smithwick on deck. Will Bermudez in the hole. As Nick Gravel looks to finish the 3rd time through the order for Chatham. 1-1 pitch. Uhas lines it towards second, but it's right at Willits for the first out of the inning. Second baseman catches it on a line just 2 steps to his right as he was playing Uhas up the middle. 1 retired in the inning.
The catcher from Ole Miss, number 12, Campbell Smithwick.
Both hits for the A's came in the 2nd. If you're just joining us, that's the only inning in which the A's have scored. They jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Falmouth responded immediately with 3 runs in the 3rd and 2 runs in the 4th. Added 1 in the 7th. Here's Campbell Smithwick, the lefty. First pitch is a fastball high and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Campbell walked his first time to the plate and scored in the 2nd before he struck out swinging to finish the 4th. 1-0. There's a breaking ball on the outside corner. It's a ball and a strike. So Smithwick is the final hitter, 3rd time through the order for the A's. Between Seppings and Gravel, just 1 has been faced over the minimum his 3rd time through the lineup. 1-1. High with a fastball. 2-1. Chayton Krause drew a walk to start the 6th, but then Gravel got 3 straight pop-ups. 1 to second base and 1 to each of his right fielder and his center fielder. 2-1 on the way. Smithwick takes a strike. Fastball on the outside corner, 2-2. So the A's trying to break out of the offensive slump. Leadoff man Will Bermudez waits on deck. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Campbell Smithwick, the catcher. Gravel brings it home. High for ball 3 with a fastball, 3-2. Any kind of base runner would help, as the A's just haven't had traffic on the bases since the first 3 innings. Left 4 on and scored 2 runs in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. 3-2 on the way. High for ball 4. And Smithwick draws a walk right in front of the leadoff man, Will Bermudez.
The center fielder from UCI, number 43, Will Bermudez.
And Andrew, we'll see if things change a 4th time now through this Chatham lineup. Not only with the potential success the A's could have with the bat, but also the moves Falmouth might make with Gravel facing some of these guys for a 2nd time.
Couple new bats coming up in the middle of the lineup as well with Lodis and Villeneuve.
First pitch to Bermudez. He squares to bunt, and he takes a strike. Fastball pops the mid on the outside corner, 0-1. Bermudez, the switch hitter, batting left-handed for the 4th time today. He's only faced righties out of the pen and with the starter Mac Hewer. 0-1 pitch. Big curveball is high, 1-1. Runner at first for Chatham, it's Campbell Smithwick with 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning and a 6-2 Falmouth advantage. Gravel sets at the belt, wiggles in his black glove. He spins and picks to first, and a belly flop dive back to the bag for Campbell Smithwick. So Chatham chasing 4. A's don't need all the runs back at once, but it's been a stagnant offense since the 2nd. Here a swing and a miss from Bermudez. It's a 2-strike count on the leadoff man from UC Irvine. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right on left. Here's the pitch. Tapped off the catcher Bowen, and it skips towards the Chatham dugout as Bermudez stays alive 1-2. Since the second, 4 straight zeros thrown up by Falmouth pitching between the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. And the Commodores have already struck out 11 A's.
Big spot here for Bermudez, trying to get 2 on for the middle of this order. Your best hitters coming up, Larson and Irish.
It's 1-2. Here's the pitch. Curveball high for ball 2. Falmouth dugout wanted the call. Bowen, the catcher, certainly framed it as if he did, but it was a bit too high to Bermudez. 2-2. Leadoff hitter is singled and been hit with a pitch today. 2-2. He fouls this one off. That was the curveball that he almost let go by. Certainly would have been strike 3, but he flicked the wrists at the last second. He spun it off the net over the head of Ashton Larson, who stands on deck to stay alive. Campbell Smithwick drew a walk. He's at first with 1 out in the inning. Chatham trailing 6-2, bottom of 7. Middle infield pinches a bit. Third baseman Carey well off the line. And the 2-2 is popped up towards Carey, third base side. He tracks it behind the third base bag, comes in and makes the catch, out number 2. So Bermudez pops out, and Chatham will have to settle with just 1 runner on for Larson, who comes to the plate now.
Larson.
After a fiery day from Larson against Brewster, in which the 2-hole man hit the ball hard all 5 times at the plate with a couple of lineouts, but also 3 hits and 4 RBI. He doesn't have a hit tonight. Gravel deals, and Larson flies it foul down the third base line and out of play, 0-1. Larson, the right fielder from LSU, walked in the first and was stranded at third when Chatham did not score in that inning. And since then, he has struck out in back-to-back plate appearances. Once against Seppings, once against Gravel, who he now faces for a second time. 0-1 pitch. And Larson bounces it towards second. Couple of hops to Willits, who charges and throws, and he gets Larson at first. Another inning with no hits for the A's, and they don't do anything with the 1-out walk. Campbell Smithwick stranded at first, no runs on no hits, no errors, and that 1 runner left on. Chatham does not score between the 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th innings, so we head to the 8th, and it's still 6-2 Falmouth on top. A solo shot in the 7th from Dylan Carey, and a 2-run rally in the 4th for Falmouth has made it a 4-run lead. New pitcher Cam Johnson in for the A's. When we come back in the top of the 8th, you're listening to Chatham A's Baseball here from Veterans Field.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's, Chatham on TRC.
They came in thinking top dollar to that old cotton crop farmer. They knocked on his screen door and he said, Lord, what you need, boys? And they said, you know, all the others went and cashed out. We got the subdivision all mapped out. It'll sit right here on this land, and you could leave town a rich man. And he said, boys, whatever you're offering, it won't be enough. 'Cause I got a little girl that used to swing right there. I still see her pink bow in her brown hair. She's in the big city, but she still calls home. What's she gonna do if she comes back and we're gone? And over there under that white oak tree, beneath the cross is where my best buddy's buried. Lasted 13 hunting seasons running strong. Keep your money 'cause a man can't leave his dog. And over there's where I got down on one knee. You can't buy that kind of dirt cheap.
One man smiled and he kind of looked away. The other said, before we go, I gotta know one thing. Between the droughts and the floods through all the years, what in the world got you through? How the hell did you get here? And he said, that little girl that used to swing right there, I still see her pink bow in her brown hair, running up after one of them long days. Her big smile making every little worry fade. And over there under that white oak tree, beneath the cross where my best buddy's buried, all them hunting seasons freezing in a John boat, me and him double barrel in a two-stroke. And that woman that said yes, and I got down on one knee. You can't buy
The catcher, number 14, Carson Bowen.
Top of the 8th here at Veterans Field. I'm Andrew Selover alongside Jack Smith. And Falmouth heads back to the plate, leading it 6-2 over Chatham. 6, 7, and 8 for the Commodores against a new reliever for the A's. Day is done for Gabe Van Emmen. He's replaced by Cam Johnson on a Chatham Barzine call to the bullpen. First pitch to Carson Bowen is bounced foul at the plate. Johnson, the thick lefty out of LSU. Freshman is transferring over to Oklahoma, staying in the SEC, I guess you say, Jack, for next season. 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Gonna take some getting used to with all this conference realignment.
I will say, I just about said something about Mac Hewer, the starter for Falmouth out of Texas Tech in the SEC. I thought they might be joining the bunch. Hard to keep track of these days, who's where. 1-1. Skips in, caught a piece of the home plate umpire, Mickey Garcia. Here's 90 back to the mound.
It was an adjustment for me today seeing USC football start Big Ten media days.
Did you see the duck?
Wasn't a fan, personally.
Two-1. In the dirt, 3 balls, 1 strike. Oregon took, how big would you say that is? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, like a duck that
100 feet?
Duck that wouldn't fit under a bridge across the river,
Yeah.
and put it in Indy. 3-1. Johnson misses outside, a 5-pitch walk to start the appearance for Cam Johnson. Leadoff man aboard in the 8th for Falmouth. Carson Bowen over at first base brings up Robbie Bolin. Commodores up 6-2 on Chatham. 6 outs to get for Falmouth, but first trying to tack on. Left on left. Johnson comes home, and he skips it in, stopped by Smithwick. Is there one college move that you think is the hardest to get used to, the most crazy?
Well, being from Northern California, just thinking about the fact that Stanford and Cal now participate in the ACC, and will have to transfer to, or travel rather, to places, Florida State, schools on the complete other side of the country, is weird to me.
Johnson's 1-0, bounced foul, 1-1.
I can get used to Texas being in the SEC. That sounds like something that could have always been the case.
Yeah.
Cal is not in the Atlantic Coast Conference normally.
And SMU, because there's 2 California schools, kind of gets forgotten in there as well. I was reading an interesting article today about that. 1-1. Breaking ball inside, 2 balls, 1 strike. It was talking about how these schools are just going to have to completely shift all of their travel schedule and how they used to do it. You know, for football, a lot of teams would have a truck that drove equipment. Johnson from the stretch, 2-1. Low and away, ball 3. And how, if you're Stanford, do you drive your truck from Stanford to Syracuse, for example, for a football game this year?
Started real early.
It's a long way. Johnson trying not to walk 2 in a row. His 3-1 is in the dirt, ball 4. Back-to-back free passes to start the evening for Cam Johnson. First 2 aboard in the 8th for Falmouth, who already leads at 6-2. Final line on Gabe Van Emmen as Chatham's pitching coach Eric Beatty walks out to the mound. Van Emmen goes 3 2/3, gives up just 1 hit. It was a homer, so he allows 1 run, an earned run on 3 walks and 6 strikeouts for the All-Star out of UConn.
Interesting to see whether Eric Beatty's going to pull Cam Johnson here, because walks are often a sign that Johnson is off, but the A's, I feel like, need to get him going, and they got a confident and successful Cam Johnson in his last outing. You don't want to ruin that by pulling him after just 2 batters here, but you want to keep it close.
Eric Beatty will leave the mound with Johnson still in the game. He fist pumps his catcher Smithwick, and he'll stay in there to face Donovan LaSalle. 2 on, nobody out in the 8th. First outing was nothing short of a disaster for Cam Johnson. He didn't retire a batter. He only faced 3, and he walked all 3. He's eerily close to replicating that performance here. As Jack mentioned, the second time out was much improved. Left on right, the pitch. Breaking ball to the backstop. Smithwick couldn't get up to get there. It's a wild pitch from Johnson that moves 2 into scoring position. Second outing for Johnson was 4 days ago at Hyannis. He pitched 2 scoreless innings. He only walked 1. And now Smithwick, after 1 pitch following the mound visit with the pitching coach Eric Beatty, goes out there for a brief message again. If there's one knock on Cam Johnson, Jack, through his freshman year, command has been the problem, and he's showing it here tonight. Infield comes in at all 4 positions for Chatham. Second and third, nobody out. LaSalle awaits 1-0 and takes outside. Johnson was about as highly touted recruits come. Number 2 left-handed pitcher recruit in the nation out of high school. 2-0 in the dirt, ball 3.
And the highest ranked recruit ever to make it on campus at LSU.
An IMG Academy prospect. Senior year at IMG, you had a sub-1 ERA in 27 innings. Needs a strike, 3-0. And he missed it high, ball 4. 3 straight walks to start the outing for Cam Johnson, and the last 4 pitches not close to Donovan LaSalle.
And Eric Beatty is on a walkie-talkie, likely with the bullpen. Seems like there's 2 versions of Cam Johnson.
So far, it's been a less desirable version for Eric Beatty and Chatham. Bases loaded for Isaiah Barquette, nobody out. The first pitch is a strike. Fastball on the outer half. Infield is in at the corners for Chatham. Double play depth up the middle. Falmouth as prime a chance as you get to tack onto a 6-2 lead in the 8th. 0-1 in the dirt. Backhand stop from Smithwick. This season with LSU for Johnson, he just pitched 9 innings. And he pitched in 13 games, so he averaged less than an inning per outing. 1-1. Bounced on the ground. At second, Davis is to his left. He's got it. He throws to first for the first out. Never a chance at the double play, but Jaden Davis got there just onto the edge of the outfield grass, and he sets down Isaiah Barquette, who drives home a run on the ground out. Brings Bowen around to score. Makes it 7-2 Falmouth.
Number 18, Jackson Willis.
Right now, Johnson takes outs wherever he can get them, and the infield comes back in for Chatham at all 4 positions. Second and third and 1 away for the top of the order. Jackson Willits. Pitch. A strike on the inner half at 92. Five-run lead now in the top of the 8th for Falmouth. Bullpen up for Chatham. 0-1. Inside. Chases Willits out of the right-hand batter's box. 1-1. Johnson out of the stretch. He comes home, and he misses low. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Did have an interesting conversation with Cam Johnson a couple of days ago. Obviously, he knew that his freshman season at LSU didn't go the way that he expected it to. But he said he was too tuned in to how other people were expecting he'd pitch.
2-1. Outside ball 3.
He told me it was pretty tough mentally to go through that kind of year. And I said, were you checking how people were talking about your outings, or reading the news clippings and people that were disappointed? He said no to that.
The lefty's 3-1 is in the dirt, ball 4. After a ground out from Barquette, he walks Willits on 5 pitches.
So instead of checking and reading what people were saying about his outings online, he said he was tuned in to the draft rankings and the recruiting rankings and the rankings of freshmen. That he gave himself a pressure to perform because he was so in tune with the lists of people hyping up his prospect ranking.
And Jack, from everything I've seen in the world of college baseball, it cannot be an easy place at LSU to play when you're not succeeding. First pitch to Dylan Carey is a strike. No, just missed the inside corner with the fastball. One ball, no strikes. Johnson out of the stretch, bases back to loaded. He deals in the dirt, ball 2.
It's a cutthroat place to play college baseball, that's for sure.
In Baton Rouge, if you're playing well, I'm sure it's cloud 9, and when you're not, it's about the exact opposite, I would imagine. 2-0. Dribbled up the line at third. Kraus charges, he bare hands, he throws to first. It's not in time. A weak bouncer up the third base line. Actually might have hit off the plate before it started rolling. Turns into an infield RBI single for Dylan Carey.
Right fielder number 5, Jason Jones.
Falmouth's up 8-2 in the top of the 8th. Jason Jones, the 7th batter to the plate in the inning.
Johnson told me that throughout the season and checking in on these lists, he never doubted himself. He never let his confidence get low. But he felt like he needed to prove to people that he was that top prospect, and it caused him to overthrow, throw, and not pitch when he was on the hill.
He steps off to get new signs and reset the pitch clock. They never actually reset the pitch clock, so the home plate umpire, Mickey Garcia, calls time, and now he signals to his third base umpire, Anthony Brunetti, to do so. New 20 for Johnson, who retoes the left half of the rubber. Bases still loaded and 1 out in the top of the 8th. 2 runs home for Falmouth. 8-2 Commodores. The pitch, swing and a miss. Breaking ball in the dirt. Jones chases after it. Strike 1. So far tonight, Johnson has thrown 26 pitches, just 7 of them for strikes. Lefty from the stretch. He fires. Breaking ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
So I was talking with Johnson about how he responded to this mental toughness he faced. He said he deleted all social media platforms, and right now he no longer goes and reads those lists.
His 1-1. in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And he says it's been more refreshing and it's allowed himself to back off mentally. And he says that so far it has given him a clearer mind when he's on the mound, though it hasn't exactly translated to success yet on the Cape.
2-1. Swing and a miss. Another breaking ball in the dirt that Jones chases after. He hasn't seen one in the strike zone yet, but he's gone fishing twice, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Johnson searching for a much-needed second out here in the top of the 8th. He kicks and deals, and it's popped up down the right field line, tailing out of play. New baseball for Johnson. Stares in. He sets. He pitches. Fastball bounced foul. Jones late on it, but he catches a piece. Still 2-2.
Good news for Johnson is there's hope on the horizon. And a team in Oklahoma that looked at him and reached out immediately when he hit the transfer portal with big belief in what he could be in their program.
Another 2-2. Breaking ball slapped high in the air into shallow center field. Bermudez charges. He grabs it. From third, LaSalle tags. The throw to the plate is cut off. It's a sac fly for Jason Jones, who ups the Falmouth lead to 9-2 in the 8th.
The designated hitter, number 17.
Second out of the inning. Sets up Gavin Turley with runners at first and second. 3 runs home for the Commodores. And Jack, for my eyes, it's totally understandable for Oklahoma to have excitement about what Johnson brings to the table, because once you can solve the commands, we saw a couple days ago what the lefty has in store. Left on right, first pitch to Turley is outside, ball 1.
The way schools tend to look at that, you can teach command to most people. What you can't teach to anyone is throwing up to 100 miles an hour with a great slider from a 6'5" frame from the left side. And that's what Johnson does bring to the table.
Looks back, comes home. Breaking ball catches a piece at the knees, outer black, 1-1.
And one of the cool pieces that Johnson laid down for me is that Oklahoma views him as a starter, and they want him to be in the weekend rotation with Kyson and Malachi Witherspoon.
Chatham A trio, the 3 Musketeers, 3 Sooners, 1-1. Skips away to the backstop, nearly bounced all the way up over the netting. It sends both runners into scoring position. Willits over to third on the wild pitch, carry up to second base.
And can you imagine looking through an Oklahoma weekend rotation in the middle of the SEC schedule and seeing 3 2024 Chatham A's going Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Johnson's 2 innings at Hyannis the other day were about as dominant a 2 innings as we've seen this summer. 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball, sliders in there for a strike. 2-2.
Not often have we seen a pitcher roll 2 double plays in just 2 innings. Hard to roll 2 in 1 inning.
Stuff's all there. Just needs to command it. Searching for the final out of the 8th. The 2-2. Slider outside. In the dirt, in the left-hand batter's box. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners at second and third, and Johnson's in a 3-2 count with Turley. From the stretch, he fires. Breaking ball fouled back. Turley extends an 8th inning that already has gone on for longer than Johnson would have hoped. A's crowd trying to urge Johnson to the end here in the top of the 8th. Another full count pitch. Skied into right field. Larson's over towards the chalk. He's under it. He has it. Top of the 8th concludes, but not before Falmouth scores 3. Just 1 hit for the Commodores. 4 walks from Cam Johnson and 2 left on for Falmouth. Johnson struggles, but he gets out of his own mess in the top of the 8th. Falmouth extends its lead 9-2 Commodores halfway through 8 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
Hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. Lips as sweet as candy. Its taste is on my mind. Girl, you got me thirsty for another cup of wine. Got a bug from you, girl, but I don't need no cure. I just stay a victim if I can for sure. All the good love when we're all alone. Keep it up, girl. Yeah, you turn me on. Hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. All the good love when we're all alone. Keep it up, girl. Yeah, you turn me on. I'm hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me.
As we head to the bottom of the 8th, Falmouth is up on Chatham. It's 9-2 Commodores in favor of the A's. Another Chatham Barzine called to the bullpen, this time for Falmouth. Edward Hart, the lefty out of Duke, sophomore at 6'5", 225 comes in. Faces the lefty Ike Irish. The first pitch is a slider on the outside corner, strike 1. Hart replaces Nick Gravel. Final line for Gravel after this 0-1 pitch. Hart from the stretch he deals. Irish fouls it off down the left field line. 0-2.
Gravel goes 3 innings of dominant pitching. No hits, no runs, 2 strikeouts.
0-2. Line down the left field line, tailing toward the chalk. It's down past LaSalle, who laid out for it. Into the corner, and Irish chugs into second base. A stand-up double to lead off the bottom of the 8th for Chatham. First hit for the Anglers since the 2nd inning.
The third baseman from Dallas Baptist, number 28, Jaden Krause.
Jayton Krause steps to the plate. Right-hander out of Dallas Baptist. He's 0 for 2. Needs a hit to extend his 4-game hitting streak to 5. But before he swings, quick mound visit from the catcher Carson Bowen in a 7-run game. Talking over something with his new reliever, Edward Hart, after he gives up a double the opposite way to Irish in his first batter faced. Already the 10th game of the summer for the lefty Hart. Pitched 16 innings with a sub-2 ERA. Left on right for Krause. The offering. Slider at the knees, strike 1. Krause flied out to right his first time to the plate. then a strikeout swinging and a walk. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Huge hack down below the zone. 0-2. Dribbled up the third base line. Will it stay fair? No, it won't. Hits off the cutout of the grass and bounces to the left of the chalk before Dylan Carey scoops it up. Stays no balls, 2 strikes for Kraus. Tough first 2 years for Hart at Duke, as the numbers indicate. Just pitched 9 innings this year with an 8.38 ERA. 15 innings his freshman season with a 7.8 earned run average. Drastically improved upon that in each summer ball season. 0-2. Drilled out toward right field, but it's right at the right fielder Jones, who has it on a line just shy of the track. Irish tags up to third. He's in safely. So Kraus moves the runner over, but he comes up just a little shy of a third home run of the summer.
The shortstop from Georgia Tech, number 24, Kyle Lodis.
Brings up Kyle Lodis for his first plate appearance of the night. Augusta transfer headed to Georgia Tech. The sophomore was a defensive replacement back in the 7th inning for Iva Arquette in the 5-hole. The pitch, taken low. Arquette ends his night at the plate, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Left on right, the pitch. Fastball, called a strike. 1-1. Lodis comes into tonight's contest hitting .253 across 28 games this summer. 1-1. Just low, 2 balls, 1 strike. Unfortunately for Kyle, he won't have any more matchups check with his cousin Alex, who ended his season with Hyannis yesterday. 2-on in the dirt ball 3. Alex came straight to Cape Cod after an Omaha trip with Florida State and decided he would take this last couple of weeks to rest, go home, see the family before headed back to Tallahassee. 3-1. Taking a strike, 3-2.
What I hear is that he won the Lodi Bowl and quit while he was ahead. Took the win home.
He's not going to get to quit during the school year. Those two will play 3 against each other. 3-2, swing and a miss. Lodis chased after ball 4 up above the zone. He's down on strikes in his first AB of the evening, and there's 2 outs for Robin Villeneuve, who steps to the plate, also as a defensive replacement the last inning. Villeneuve came into the game for Eddie Hakopian, who was 1 for 3 with a double in the 6-hole. Left on right, the pitch. Low and away, ball 1. Villeneuve bats with a runner at third and 2 outs in the bottom of 8. And Chatham trailing Falmouth 9-2. 1-0. Fastball, strike 1 on the inside corner. Villeneuve hitting at 250 through his first 6 games. 288 hitter with Tennessee, and he takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Chatham's down to its final strike in the bottom of the 8th. Irish still at third with 2 away, and the 1-2. Outside, ball 2. Falmouth bullpen goes nuts after that last pitch. Not exactly sure what for. 2-2. Fouled off. No raucous celebration after that.
I'm racking my brain and coming up empty.
Got absolutely nothing for you on that one. Don't think it was a roll call mimic. 2-2. Clocked high in the air, medium depth left center. Bolin drifts back. He's got a beat of it, and he's got it on the track for the final out. Villeneuve just got under it, or else that one might have been on the hill in center field. Instead, the A's go for no runs on one hit. No errors, and Ike Irish stranded over at third base. Chatham can't capitalize on a lead-off double. A's still trail at 9-2 as we head to the ninth on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
I was trying to find my way home, but all I heard was a drone bouncing off a satellite, crushing the last lone American night. This is radio nowhere. Is there anybody alive out there? This is radio nowhere. Is there anybody alive out there? I was sitting around a dead dial, just another lost number in a file, dancing down a dark hole, just searching for a world with some soul. This is radio nowhere. Is there anybody alive out there? This is radio nowhere. Is there anybody alive out there? Is there anybody alive out there? I just
Hi, this is Jaden Davis from Vanderbilt University. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball with Andrew Selover and Jack Smith on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
As we head to the top of the ninth here at Veterans Field, Jaden Davis welcomes you back to the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham's trailing at 9-2 against Falmouth here at Veterans Field. And another Chatham bars in call to the bullpen for the Anglers. Ends the day for Cam Johnson, who goes an inning out of the bullpen and brings on Murphy Brooks for the A's. Brooks, a righty out of Louisiana. He faces the middle of the order. 5, 6, 7 due up here for Falmouth. Lefty swinger Gavin Keelan is the first to the plate in a 7-run lead for the Commodores. Brooks winds and deals. First pitch swinging. It's popped up on the left side of the infield. Third baseman Kraus calls off the catcher and makes the play halfway down the line. One pitch and one out in the ninth for Murphy Brooks. Sets down Gavin Keelan. Brings a righty, Carson Bowen, to the plate. Just the second appearance of the summer for Brooks with Chatham. Went 2 1/3 his first time out, with 1 run allowed on 4 hits at Falmouth. So he's facing the same team twice. First pitch to Bowen is a strike. Sinking fastball at the knees. Commodores hoping to split the season series with the Anglers. 0-1. Breaking ball stays upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. A's got the first one against Falmouth here at Veterans Field. Ended the first week of the season. Then two teams split a pair at Gov Fuller Field. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Not quite as much offense in this game as there was the last time that these two teams squared off. Exactly a week ago, and the A's won 14-8 over Falmouth in a game that took 3 hours and 45 minutes. 1-2 in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Right now it's just 9-2 Falmouth in the top of the ninth. 1 out, nobody out. Brooks is even in the count with Bowen, who is 1 for 3 today. 2-2. Slapped foul back over the netting. Bowen out in front of a slider at 79, but he just flipped the hands up and made some contact to flick it back over the net. Stays 2-2. The pitch. Swing and a miss. First strikeout for Brooks. Mows down Bowen, his second strikeout of the evening. 2 up, 2 down in the top of 9.
Center fielder, number 34, Robbie Boland.
Robbie Boland steps to the plate for the 5th time tonight. He's 0 for 1, but he's still without his first hit in his Cape League debut. First team JUCO All-American from the left side. The pitch. Just missed the outside corner, ball 1. Barton County Community College hitting .464, 4th best JUCO batting average among every school this year for Bowen. 1-0. Bounces in, 2 balls, no strikes. And he's grounded into a fielder's choice. He's laid down a sac bunt, and he's walked his last 2 times to the plate. Hoping to see some action here against D1 Arms before making the move to Nebraska next year. 2-0. Low for ball 3. Now he's just 1 pitch away from taking his 3rd straight walk. Brooks is trying to battle back and face the minimum in the top of the 9th. The righty's 3-0. Strike right down the middle. 3-1. Brooks works quickly, the 3-1. Up and away, ball 4. 2-out walk issued to Robbie Bowen. There's 1 on, and 2 outs in the top of the 9th.
The left fielder, number 2, Donovan
Brings
LaSalle.
up Donovan LaSalle. 1 for his first 3 tonight. Freshman out of Oklahoma State. Cowboys are staying in the Big 12, right?
Yes.
Okay. Right on right matchup. Brooks now from the stretch. He pitches. Inside, ball 1. Does that mean, Jack, that we lose the Red River rivalry this year?
That's Oklahoma,
well,
Texas.
Sorry. That's my mistake. 1-0. Skips in. 2 balls, no strikes. I mean Bedlam.
I don't know.
Oklahoma State.
I'm sure they could schedule it as a non-conference game. I'll get on that for you.
Okay, you let me know if they have, because if not, then that's a real shame.
Agreed.
2-0. Inside, ball 3. LaSalle also walked his last time to the plate. That was against Johnson last inning. Came around to score. 3-0. Taking a strike at the top of the zone, 3-1.
Survey says no Bedlam.
Ooh.
This year, at least.
I'm sure they'll get it on the schedule at some point, right?
You would think.
Okay. Brooks with the 3-1. Bounced foul, third base side. 3-2. Chatham got the lead in the 2nd inning, 2-0, and since then it's been all Falmouth. 3 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. Single run in the 7th, and 3 more in the 8th. Brooks trying to keep the Commodores off the board in the 9th. Runner at first and 2 outs. Full count pitch. Belted through the right side, a base hit. It rolls out to Larson. Boland is off for 3rd as he was off with the pitch, and he's in without a throw. Opposite field single for Donovan LaSalle. They're at the corners with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. For the 9-hole hitter, Isaiah Barquette.
First baseman, number 6, Isaiah Barquette.
So Murphy Brooks is with Louisiana. You think they've got a rival, Jack?
Sure they do. Everyone's got a rival.
Well, no. Syracuse doesn't have a football rival.
It's like the kid left alone at lunch. Also, I regret to inform you, I don't think that Bedlam is
it's
in
done.
the plans.
It's done. That's terrible. First pitch. Inside the Barquette, ball 1.
It's not scheduled, and I have not been able to find anything suggesting that those two are trying to agree on when to play again.
Yeah, I mean, they schedule these things so far in advance. 1-0. Fouled back. I mean, I bet even if they tried to schedule it as soon as possible now, like, they probably couldn't get it on the books again until, like, 2028.
But Oklahoma State went out with a bang and won the last one, if it was the last one.
I mean, it's not like it was a one-sided rivalry. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State went back and forth. The pitch. Just below the zone, 2-1.
Right, but it feels better to know you won the final one if you don't play again for a really long time.
It's fair. We lose in any other big rivalries?
Personally, USC, Cal, and Stanford.
2-1 is lifted out towards short. Lodis is back. He's under it. He fields it in the air for the final out. Yeah, I don't care about those.
Enjoy your lack of a rivalry over at Syracuse.
We won't. Scoreless top of the 9th comes to a close. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 men left on in the field for Falmouth. No runs allowed for Murphy Brooks, who tosses a scoreless top of the 9th inning, but scoreboard still reads all in favor of Falmouth. Commodores have 9 runs on 9 hits and an error. A's have just 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. Bottom of the 9th is coming up. Bottom of the order for Chatham when we return to the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on GRC. Looking out at the road rushing under my wheels. Looking back at the years gone by like so many summer fields. 65, I was 17 and running up on one. I don't know where I'm running now, I'm just running on empty.
Back for the bottom of the 9th at Veterans Field. I'm Andrew Selover alongside Jack Smith. Chatham's bottom of the order. 7-hole hitter Jaden Davis to the plate. First pitch. Bounced foul. A's trail at 9-2 to Falmouth. Edward Hart still on the mound for his second inning of work. The tall lefty out of Duke. Final game in the league still going on tonight. The pitch. Slapped foul down the first base line. Quickly 0-2 on Jaden Davis, who is 0 for 3 so far tonight. Pitch. Up high for ball 1. Defensive replacement out at second base for Falmouth. Jack Bell is into the game in place of Jackson Willits. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Davis down on strikes. Second time he swung through strike 3 tonight. And there's 1 out in the 9th for Hart. Ty Johnson will pinch hit for the A's in the 8th spot.
Baylor, number 65, Ty Johnson.
Replaces Luke Uhas, sophomore from Louisiana, who goes 0 for 3 in his Chatham debut. Left on left, the offering. Strike at the top of the zone, 0-1. Through 5 games for Johnson, he has 3 hits and 17 APs. 0-1. Taken on the outside corner, strike 2. Campbell Smithwick waits on deck in the 9-hole for the A's, who are down to their final 2 outs. 0-2 pitch. Off the outside corner. 1-2. After Brewster tied today, A's aren't really going much places with the loss. The pitch fouled back. 1-2. Chatham came into today with a 3.5 game lead on second place over Brewster, and with Brewster's tie, it'll move to a 3-game lead.
A winless day in the East.
1-2, swing and a miss. Johnson chases off the plate. Back-to-back strikeouts for Edward Hart in the bottom of the 9th.
The catcher from Ole Miss, number 12,
Campbell Smithwick is the final hope for Chatham. He comes to the plate in the 9 spot. 0 for 1 today, a strikeout in between 2 walks. Scored one of Chatham's 2 runs back in the 2nd. Pitch. Fastball, strike. 0-1. Hart from the stretch, he deals. Smithwick skies it out into the left center field gap. Bolin is there, he chases it down for the final out. And Falmouth wins over Chatham 9-2 at Veterans Field to split the series on the season.
Thank you for coming out to tonight's game. We appreciate it. Final score,
A's struck first tonight, but Falmouth had all the offense after that. Took the lead back in the 3rd and never let it go. Commodores move with the win to 12-18-1, and Chatham falls to 16-15 with the loss.
at 7 o'clock, and then of course the All-Star game.
Coaching staff shake hands back behind home plate. Sean Schiffner as an assistant for Falmouth, shaking the Chatham coach's hands. And the Commodores will head back to Falmouth victorious tonight. Angler's Extra postgame show is coming up next here from Veterans Field. After Falmouth takes down Chatham 9-2, we'll have postgame highlights, a postgame interview, and the final score, final box score for you on the other side of a quick break. Again, it's Falmouth 9 and Chatham 2 here at Veterans Field. Jack Smith will be down on the field for your postgame interview when we come back. Postgame show is next on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's, Chatham on GRC.
When the lights go down in the city and the sun shines
Welcome back here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. I'm Andrew Selover up in the booth above Veterans Field. Final score tonight, Falmouth takes down Chatham 9-2 to split the regular season series between this East and West matchup. 2 games apiece between Chatham and Falmouth. And the final of 4 regular season matchups again finishes in favor of the Commodores 9-2. Angler's Extra Post-Game Show is brought to you, as always, by the Chatham Bars Inn. That's New England's premier oceanfront resort. And the Cape League Scoreboard is brought to you, as always, by Sweet Tomatoes Pizza. A final check-in on the Cape League scores from tonight. All 10 teams in action. There was a tie. Brewster and YD finished 3 apiece, and they don't play the 10th inning at Red Wilson Field due to a lack of sunlight there at Red Wilson Field. So a 3-3 tie between those 2 teams in the East. Katuitt wins 6-2 on the road at Hyannis. Kettleers keep their 1-game lead atop of the West Division with a 6-2 victory. Wareham is 10-4 winners at home over Orleans. Gateman, again, stay just 1 game back of the Kettleers for first place in the West. And the Firebirds keep their 1-game lead on a playoff spot in 4th place in the East because Bourne took down Harwich 10-2 at White House Field, home of the Mariners. And again, your final score here at Veterans Field, it finished 9-2 in favor of the Falmouth Commodores. We'll have your post-game highlights coming up in just a minute, but first we'll send it down to Jack Smith, who's got your post-game interview.
Andrew, I'm joined by Gabe Van Emmen here on the field after Chatham falls to Falmouth. Gabe, another strong relief appearance for you. What's been working so far through your first 4 appearances on the Cape?
Yeah, just attacking hitters. Had 3 walks tonight. Probably don't want to let that happen again. But, just trying to get ahead, get 0-1, 0-2. Just attack hitters and let my defense do the work behind me.
What pitches were working for you tonight?
Fastball, for sure. I felt I had best command of that tonight, so I was trying to attack. Fastball heavy and just try to go right at them and make them beat me.
You've been a starter at UConn, but you're appearing in long relief for the A's. What's that adjustment been like?
I've done both my whole career. I was reliever for a long time at Endicott. I was reliever at times this year for UConn. So, just trying to be adjustable and take the ball whenever I'm called upon, whatever role that may be.
What's your difference in routine heading into a start versus heading into a day that you might pitch a couple innings in relief?
Yeah, it's a little different. Start routine is a little longer. You're asked to go more innings. In relief, it's a daily routine of show up, throw 60 to 90 feet, and then just be ready whenever your name's called. So just moving around in the bullpen a lot, staying loose, and making sure I'm 5 minutes away from being able to be on the mound right there.
You were named a Cape League All-Star last week. What does that honor mean to you?
Oh, it's an honor. This league is full with just absolute superstars all across the country. Being an All-Star is just it's amazing. I'm really fortunate to have these guys all on my back behind me, and I wouldn't be able to do that without Ike and Campbell behind the dish. Those guys are just awesome to throw to, and everyone just making plays behind me. Yeah.
What makes Ike and Campbell good catchers to pitch to?
Oh, the energy, just good people overall. When you have a connection with a catcher, it's good. You trust the guy you're throwing to. I trust them fully, and they keep me focused, and it's good.
You went to Endicott, then to UConn, and then to Cape Cod. What have been some of your favorite baseball accomplishments so far across your career?
Oh man, definitely making the World Series at Endicott with a special group of people there. Definitely winning a regional at UConn, and then hopefully looking in the future here, we can win a title here for the fans and for us too. So, definitely fortunate to have good teammates at every level of my career.
College World Series gets a lot of credit and a lot of attention from the media. Some of those smaller schools playing in the postseason there doesn't get as much attention. Can you explain to people that maybe haven't seen it what it is like?
The College World Series?
No, it's at Endicott.
Oh, at Endicott? Yeah, it's awesome. At Endicott, we're not playing at huge stadiums all the time. It's Division III, which, a bunch of grinders. But yeah, going to Iowa, we played in Cedar Rapids. Beautiful stadium, there's a bunch of fans there. So, it was just a cool environment overall to play in. It was really special, especially being there with, guys I've been with for 4 years. Just being able to accomplish that together was really good.
If you could tell the Endicott version of you that he was pitching on Cape Cod a couple years later, what would he think?
He'd probably think you were crazy. A lot of work is put into where I am today, and none of it would have been possible without my parents, without Sheets for bringing me here, BD for helping me out, the whole coaching staff here, the whole coaching staff at every school I've ever been to, Endicott, UConn. None of it would have been possible. So I've had a lot of help along the way and a lot of people to thank for where I am today.
Well, Gabe, congrats on another great outing today. Congrats on the All-Star nod. Hopefully we see you on the mound on Saturday.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
That'll do it for us here on the field here at Veterans Field after Chatham fell to Falmouth. Let's send it back up to Andrew Selover as the Anglers Extra Post-Game Show continues.
All right, Jack, another good outing, as you mentioned, for Gabe Van Emmen, who gives up 1 run across 3 2/3 innings tonight for the lefty out of UConn. But that 1 run was 1 of 9 tonight for Falmouth as the Commodores take down the Anglers 9-2 at Veterans Field. Back here on the Anglers Extra Postgame Show, let's get you your postgame highlights, brought to you by Touchstone Closing. Tonight's starters, Tyler Murphy out of FAU for Chatham and Mac Hewer out of Texas Tech for Falmouth, and both of them tossed a scoreless first inning. 1-2-3 for Murphy on the mound for the A's. Hewer got some trouble after he walked 2 batters, but he left them at the corners, and it was scoreless headed to the second inning. Just 1 over the minimum in that frame for Tyler Murphy, so move ahead to the bottom of the second inning. Leadoff double from Eddie Hakopian, but that was followed up by back-to-back strikeouts of Jaden Davis and Luke Uhas. Campbell Smithwick walked, and he moved over to second base with Hakopian taking third on a wild pitch from Hewer, and that wild pitch was tossed with Will Bermudez at the plate. And later in the at-bat, Bermudez was trying to drive home those two to give Chatham the first lead of the ballgame. Hewer set. He deals. Fastball roped on the ground to first. High hop, and it's past Barquette and to right. Wave around third for Smithwick. The throw to the plate is late. It's a 2-run base hit off the bat of Will Bermudez, and Chatham has the lead 2-zip in the bottom of the second inning. A scorcher on the ground to first. Bermudez aided by the bounce past the glove of the first baseman Barquette, and Chatham took the game's first lead 2-0 in the second inning. That's all the A's had there, and Falmouth tried to respond in the top of the third. Tyler Murphy only allowed 1 hit his first time through the order, but he gave up a second base hit when he flipped the lineup over to Jackson Willits, and that meant there were 2 on with 2 outs for Jason Jones. And already for Falmouth, 1 run home in the inning from Willits driving home the run. So Jones was coming to the plate with a runner on and a 2-1 ball game, trying to get Falmouth level or give the Commodores the lead. 0-1. Belted deep to left field. Uhas drifts back. He's at the track. He looks up. He's out of room. Nearly hit the scoreboard. Jason Jones, a 2-run blast, and it gives Falmouth their first lead of the game, 3-2 in the top of the third. So the Commodores strike for 3 against Chatham's starter Tyler Murphy in the third inning, and Falmouth would come back in the fourth, trying to get some more offense started. Against Murphy, second time through the order, Gavin Keelan singled. Carson Bowen followed that up with a single. Robbie Bolin would lay down a bunt to move those two into scoring position, and that brought up Donovan LaSalle. Already a one-run lead for the Commodores.
From the stretch, here's the 1-1. And LaSalle rips it past Arquette into center field, a base hit. Both runners score with ease as LaSalle turns first with a 2 RBI single, and Falmouth leads 5-2.
That was all the scoring for a while in this ballgame. 5-2 after the top of the fourth, and both teams held scoreless across the fifth and the sixth inning. So we jump ahead to the seventh inning. Gabe Van Emmen was in his third inning of work for the Anglers. He struck out Jackson Willits to start the frame, but Dylan Carey wasn't going to go down easily.
Van Emmen delivers, and it's hit high in the air left field. Uhas to the track, looks up at the wall, off the scoreboard. Long home run to left for Dylan Carey, and a solo shot adds insurance for Falmouth. It's 6-2.
A long blast, second home run of the night for the Commodores, 6-2 at that point. Tack on 3 more in the eighth off of Cam Johnson, aided by 4 walks from the lefty reliever for Chatham. So 9-2 after the 8th inning in favor of Falmouth. And we jump to the bottom of the 9th after Murphy Brooks tossed a scoreless top half. And it was Edward Hart on the mound trying to seal the deal. He struck out Jaden Davis and Ty Johnson, both swinging, and Campbell Smithwick was the last man standing for the Anglers tonight. Hart from the stretch, he deals. Smithwick skies it out into the left center field gap. Bolin is there, he chases it down for the final out. And Falmouth wins over Chatham 9-2 at Veterans Field to split the series on the season. So that's how it finished here at Veterans Field. Pretty comfortable victory for the Falmouth Commodores, who have now won a couple in a row. The win for Falmouth moves the Commodores up to 12-18-1. With a Bourne win tonight, though, Falmouth is still 2.5 games outside of a playoff spot in the West. As for Chatham, the Anglers dropped to 16-15 with the loss. The A's are still 3 games up on second place in the East, and now they are 4 games back of first place, YD. So Chatham pretty much staying still right in the middle of the Eastern Division standings at second place, which would clinch at least one home postseason game if the season ended today. Your final box score tonight, Falmouth goes for 9 runs on 9 hits, 1 error in the field from the Commodores, the only error of the game, and 9 Falmouth batters left on base. Chatham has just 2 runs on only 3 hits, no errors in the field from the Anglers, and 7 A's left on the base paths. The winning pitcher tonight, Jack Seppings, gets the win in his return to Veterans Field. The righty out of Brown pitched for the A's a season ago, and he tossed 2 1/3 scoreless out of the bullpen. Tyler Murphy out of Florida Atlantic gets the loss. He gives up 5 runs across 3 1/3 in his first start of the summer in a Chatham jersey. First pitch out of the hand of Murphy was at 7:02 tonight. Final pitch at 10:04, a 3-hour and 2-minute ball game, and 2,439 people were on hand to see it. That does it for us here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Both of these teams back in action tomorrow. Falmouth is at home at 6 o'clock hosting Harwich, and we'll be on the road right back here at home for Chatham hosting Hyannis. A 7 o'clock first pitch between the A's and the Harbor Hawks. That means we get going at 6:40 here on the Anglers Extra pregame show. With my partner Jack Smith, our producer Giovanni Collada, the rest of our entire Anglers media team, I'm Andrew Selover saying good night here from Veterans Field. Again, your final score, Falmouth wins it 9-2 over Chatham. These two teams split the regular season series. We'll talk to you tomorrow here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Good night, everybody.
Chatham Anglers Baseball 2024 has been brought to you by Chatham Bars Inn, Chatham Clothing Bar, Touchstone Closing, Mahi Gold, Chatham Hardware, Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, the Red Nun Bar and Grill, Short and Sweet Ice Cream, Cape Cod 5, and by the Chatham A's.
Chatham A's Baseball, Sports Radio, play-by-play, summertime on Cape Cod.
This has been an exclusive presentation of Chatham A's Baseball on TRZ Team Line.
Chatham on TRZ.